There we are. Hi, Igor. How you doing, friend?
I also went to the lives.
Yay.
Alright, well, mine finally stopped verifying and is loading now, I think, possibly.
Igor says good evening to everybody.
What up, Igor?
Good evening, Igor.
Not cozy. Cold. Very cold. Very, very cold. I am not cozy. I wish this was cozy.
I'm pretty cozy over here.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, everybody else is fine. No, I have a heater. I have two going, in fact, at the moment. A space heater, literally right there. Right there. And my main heater,
water,
and it's
drink,
still 45
water,
degrees.
drink, water, bitch. Oh, drink, water, drink,
I'm
water,
drinking,
drink, water, bitch.
Don't have water, but I've got Dr. Pepper.
I mean, of all the sodas, Dr. Pepper is the best.
Agreed. You gotta agree, Lore Spire, right? Like you live in Texas too. You can't
Dr. Pepper is the best.
you can't live in Texas
Yeah.
and think anything else is better. Maybe Mexican Coke is allowed, but you can't say anything but Dr. Pepper if you live in Texas. That's where Dr.
I'm not
Pepper
a
was
fan
made.
of Mexican sodas.
Really?
Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper was
I mean,
made.
okay. I have a sample size of one that I have tried, and I did not like it. Therefore, I can't even remember what it was either. It was years ago. I just remember trying a Mexican soda, and like everyone was hyping it up as like, this is incredible, this is the best thing ever. And then I tried it, I'm like, this is kind of shit. Y'all have real bad taste.
I think Mexican sodas come
What up,
from
Moldig?
different
What up,
places
Chance?
depending on where you're
How's
at.
it
Like
going,
they're all
guys?
from Mexico,
Welcome
but not
in.
the same place in Mexico.
Ready to
Because
criticize the
whenever
hell
I
out
lived
of
in
Alcab
South
for
Carolina,
shitty
there was a
auto
place
builds?
there that sold them, and they did not taste the same as the ones in Texas.
Yeah.
Did not.
I mean, that's
all
fair.
right. Let's see here. What's the name of the character for this save file? Because I see Vin. Which has
Vin.
Galfrey and okay, it is
Vin.
Yeah, we're looking for the save file that has everybody but Galfrey and Windu.
Okay, all auto builds but Windu and Galfrey.
Yeah.
All right, I'm loading it up. Also,
Yay.
what's up, everybody? We finally started, so yeah.
Yay, we're here.
Chance agrees. Chance agrees that it's too cold outside. Too damn cold.
Yeah. Yes. It is 2 degrees here. I hate it.
Maybe
Fahrenheit
too cold outside,
for those who live elsewhere that use metric like a normal person should.
I live in Maine, and it's not too bad right now, but we're only catching the tail end of the winter storm going on right now.
Yeah, it's fucked when the more north person is like warmer than the more southerly person. It's summertime. It's our vacation. I fucking wish. Actually, no. I want it to be spring.
Glad
Summer
you're
also
doing well,
sucks here
Chance.
because then it's 130 degrees.
Good to see
in the
you
house instead
again.
of 0.
I'm excited for this.
130 degrees.
Didn't get to stream this week really, which is
Yeah.
sad. But
Summertime's much
Christmas
worse.
stuff was going on. Nothing I could really.
I'd much rather 0
but,
degrees than 100.
I won't be able
Give me
to stream
60.
until after
60 degrees
Christmas
every
stuff
day.
is
Well,
over.
yeah, of course, that's better than both.
But I miss playing
I
Marvel
don't know,
Dating
60
Sim and Baldur's
more
Gate.
like 50
so
to
hopefully
55.
we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
60 degrees is great because you can go outside and you don't start getting cold after 10 minutes. You can just hang out outside. But, you know, you're not also breaking your fucking electricity bill in half and then quadrupling it because of heat and or cold.
Are we gonna introduce this ish or what?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Welcome,
right.
everybody. What?
I said hi.
Oh, okay. I thought you said wait, and I was like, you can't tell me to start and then tell me to wait.
Wait!
Stop! Welcome in,
Start again.
everybody. This is the streamer show with Unstuck NPC, Lore Spire, and Pondor. And today we are taking a look at more auto builds from Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Last time we went
Are they
on...
good or not?
Yeah,
Spoilers, they're
are they
not.
good or not? last time we went over. Did we just? Oh, we went over Sela and we went over
Greybor.
Greybor.
Greybor's was actually pretty decent.
Greybor's wasn't bad. Sela's was oof, but there was at
Sela's
least
is bad.
kind of a strategy to it, but still not optimal.
At least, okay, they fixed it.
They did.
It's no longer Vital Strike into Hammer the Gap.
It is full Vital Strike.
It's definitely like 100 times improvement.
Yeah.
But today we're checking out.
Although I am kind of sad that they did that.
Today
That
we're
was
checking
such
out
a fucking
Camellias, which I'm excited for on one end because Shaman is like my favorite, as this game classifies it, divine caster in this game. And it is a full divine caster, which is cool. But so it'll be curious to see what stuff we get with Camellia's Shaman class here. Honestly,
Yeah.
interested to see how that goes.
All right, so let's go ahead and get to the respec.
Yep.
Yep.
Let me just make sure that I'm on the right person. Yep. All right.
All right, so she's a shaman spirit hunter, starting out at level 2, of course. Let's see.
Well, she starts at level 1.
Well, we get her.
We get her at level 1.
Yeah.
Um,
We get to her first level at level 2, but what she has at level
Right.
1 is a skill-focused trickery, weapon finesse. She's got courtier for her background. I don't think does she not have a deity selection? I guess not. It's questionable.
It used to be the
and
Green Faith.
So right now,
yeah,
unless-
it's showing as
Yeah.
a question mark on mine. So
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
they took that out.
yeah.
Well, they also
and
made
then-
Green Faith selectable for players now, which it wasn't really before.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, weapon finesse is like the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Especially like, and she also gets the +1 to trickery and +1 to rapier
Persuasion.
from her background. So weapon finesse and trickery skill focus goes well with that as all together. It's a nice little level 1 package, I feel.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I suppose so.
She's putting her skill points into mobility and trickery. Trickery makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm less of a fan of mobility because A, it's not a class skill, and B, I feel like if we're going off of like lore, like she would definitely have persuasion, right?
Yeah, I would
She
agree
would
with
have to.
persuasion, but
She would have to survive.
I guess the idea is to mechanically be able to go around without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, which if we're looking at it from a mechanical standpoint, which is
But
my thing.
I always end up building her as more of a tanky character because with the buffs she gets from Shaman, she can be a wall. So
Speaking of,
I don't move her at all.
planting your feet and being a tanky wall, her first thing that she picks is Ice Plant.
Which honestly, fantastic. You can't go wrong with Ice Plant. Like if you're a Shaman, you should take Ice Plant. It's just 2 AC.
Yeah, like even if you don't take it early because you're going to be like a more like ranged character or
Just
something
take
like
it
that
later.
somehow. Yeah, like it's still. I feel like there is
There's-
not enough
Yeah.
hexes that are super good.
Exactly.
That taking Ice Plant should ever be off the table.
Yeah, there's not enough good ones to not take Ice Plant. And since she is a melee attacker, Ice Plant is just a good first choice there.
Yeah, I'm looking through to
Battle
see
Ward,
like what else we would take.
Battle Ward.
I would just like to say that I would definitely prefer Protective Luck here, over Ice Plant, but it probably just comes down to the different ways that we use her. I'm playing on Last Islanti, like, had so many wipes in Act 1, it's freaking ridiculous, and Protective Luck just is like a wipe preventer. So I like to kind of just keep her back and have her cast Protective Luck during the difficult fights, and it cuts down on the amount of damage you take and the chance of wiping like so much. I can't even explain how much. So personally,
fair.
I would prefer Protective Luck here. But Ice Plant is not a bad choice. I have taken that first with her before, and I have actually taken it with other characters that I dip
My
shaman
pizza's
with.
done. I'll be
and
back in just a second.
Ice Plant is not a bad choice.
The only thing I do like Battle Ward as well. It does the bonus goes away over time, but you can give the AC bonus to everyone, which is what I think really nice. Like a just a plus 3 deflection bonus to everyone in the party for the first attacks, and then +2 and then +1 for everyone. Like that's a lot of bonus to everyone's AC across the board.
It's pretty good early on, but don't you? Damn it, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Eventually, there are better.
I was gonna say, what's the level 1 buff that gives you a deflection bonus that you pretty much use for
Shield
the
of
entire
Faith?
Game? Thank you. Yes, I could not remember that.
There is
So
Shield
it's
of
kinda-
Faith, but only you only have so many of those potions, and unless your character has it, no one else has Shield of Faith in the party for the first part of the game.
Well, yeah, that's why I said like it is good early on.
Yeah.
But I feel like early to mid game, like somewhere around in there, like it's not.
No, I
that
would
great.
agree with that. I just like it. Igor did Ice Plant is less management, but Protective Luck is stronger. I would agree, and I'm always for less management on my companion characters. I prefer to manage my character like a ton, like super micromanage it. Like I love the trickier classes to play. Everyone else needs to be able to go on autopilot because I hate having to manage everyone constantly.
Yeah, which is definitely makes the run a lot smoother and stuff. It's just, can't always do that with the way that I was playing, depending on your settings or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to micromanage a little more.
And Protective Luck is
Alright. Sorry about
good.
abandoning us.
My
As soon as we get
concern with
started.
Protective Luck early on
Good call.
is that in the beginning you've only got 4 party members, and if one of those isn't doing any damage the entire time, your damage output is going to be super hampered. I feel like, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even with Sela, or especially if you have an animal companion, you can get it so that the enemies only, with Protective Luck, you can get it so that they only have a 1 in 400 chance of hitting you, even in the shield maze at level 2. Like, if you're using Protective Luck, they have to roll a nat 20 twice in a row. It's like a 1 in 400 chance to hit you, so it does make the battles longer, but you're not going to get a wipe and have to start over on Last Aslanti mode. I mean, you can even tank the freaking water elemental on unfair difficity with Protective Luck if
the water
you're doing a bunch
elemental
of last dip shenanigan BS.
For the water elemental, I agree. There are a handful of fights though with 3 or 4 enemies, and the tank cannot aggro them all. There isn't really what the
Problems.
something was making noise. Something downstairs. But
Your house is haunted.
yeah, you can't aggro them all. Sela can't just they're gonna their archers are gonna shoot whoever they want. It doesn't matter. So you can't give everyone Protective Luck. You can only give it to one person.
That is true, but I mean, generally, if you keep your party back, you just have the tank go in, they'll target him. You can also, use doorways or corners or whatever to your advantage so that they can only target your tank unless they're willing to move way up. There's just things that you can do to manipulate things to make it still work that we've had to figure out, and it can be done, but it is a lot more micromanagement, you said you try to avoid, so, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely... looking at Protective Luck, I can definitely see how it could be almost, invaluable, or
it's kind of broken.
I
probably
can
be
see
better
it being
without it, but...
incredibly useful in the higher difficulties, whereas in the lower ones, it's obviously not needed.
No, yeah, because in the lower difficulties, I'd rather just steamroll all of the enemies.
For sure.
Yeah. Igor says the god awful gargoyles in the cave popping up everywhere, going directly for the squishies. Yeah, the gargoyles in the fight with the Hell Knights in the cave, they literally don't care who's around. They're gonna target the squishiest casters, like, and beeline for them, taking all of the attacks of opportunity they want. And that's the most annoying. I hate when enemies do that.
You're gonna have to back yourself into the corner though with some animal companions, kind of protect. Anyways, we've got it on stream on our last unfair playthrough where we actually made it through there doing that, and
What up, Lord
Luck was
Boven?
kind of instrumental in it. But yeah, they do kind of beeline for the back. You just, it's a pain. That's one of the toughest battles in the entire freaking game, just because it's so much more difficult than all the other battles surrounding it. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's-
it's like
yeah.
this major spike in difficulty versus everything else. Like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that they did that with that. But anyways,
Yeah.
All right, so we're all agreed that Ice Plant is somewhere between a solid choice and a great choice here.
Yeah, Ice Plant's good.
Also, I just realized they replaced Cackle with Chant.
It's for the shaman. The witch has cackle, and
Yeah.
the shaman has chant.
Yeah, I never noticed that because I don't
Yeah,
ever look at
and
it.
to Igor's point, doing chant with protective luck is also great, but I don't think it increases how many people it can affect. I think it just increases how many rounds it lasts.
You can actually affect multiple people with it. If you, it's especially easy to do if you like started outside of combat.
Oh,
Because outside
okay.
of combat, you
So
can
you
get it
set
to
it
affect
up.
like 2 people, and then whenever you
And then chant.
it'll actually go
Okay.
to 12 seconds. And if you keep doing, like, you can get it on the entire party if you started outside of combat, which is really ridiculously broken. But
That makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Set it up, let them go. That's cool. I mean, that tracks with D&D shamans, like, with D&D shamans. Like, if you go back to, like, D&D Baldur's Gate time, shamans have a chant ability, and they just stand there, and they just chant, and then everyone gets bonuses. And that's how the shaman works in D&D, 2nd edition. So that's interesting.
Nice.
What are our thoughts on Slumber?
Slumber is great if you're a ranged character. I wouldn't use it on a melee character because I like to use it on everyone until I get one. And I don't want to keep
I think Slumber's really good. I might argue that with it being better than Ice Plant. It's what for a long
Oh, I'm
time.
not saying it's better than Ice Plant. I'm not saying that. I'm just.
Well, for a long time, it was the what I always used with her until I figured out just how good protective luck was. But being able to coup de grace like every freaking enemy, like in the beginning, is just fun as hell, and it's also really powerful. It's just not as powerful as protective luck once you learn that. So I like Slumber, but
I also get why she's a battle spirit because she likes to murder people. But I'm so upset that it's not Stone Spirit just because I think Metal Curse is one of my favorite hexes of all time. I just love Metal Curse so
Metal
much
Curse, huh?
as a hex.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Whenever the creature is attacked with a melee or ranged weapon made primarily of metal, they take a -2 penalty to their AC. So you can just keep using it, and you can only use it once, but you can use it once, and then just everyone wallops them.
Oh, okay. So use it on the enemy, and then of course everybody's attacking with metal weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Okay.
Sounds
Battle
cool.
Oh,
Spirit-
Igor brought up a couple of points against Slumber. The archer part, he says that archers will probably wake them up before your melees can coup them. That comes down to your
management.
your micromanagement abilities.
Because I use Slumber with Ember all the time, and we just let that dude sleep every fight. Whoever's asleep, just let him sleep.
Yeah. The second point is a lot more poignant. Is that undead constructs and vermin are immune, which, especially in early game, are a lot of the biggest issues that you're going to run against anyway.
That's true.
So
I like using.
that's an issue, and then also the once per enemy thing, which that's a lot of hexes to be fair. A lot of hexes are once per 24 hours per enemy if it's an offensive one.
On top of once per enemy, Slumber is also one enemy at a time. You can't use it on more than one enemy at once.
Right. Yeah.
So that's also a
But-
downside. Because
If you fail on one, then you get it another, and then another,
Yeah.
like you were talking about earlier.
I just put the casters to sleep. Like, if they're wizards, I know they're gonna have high intelligence, not necessarily a low wisdom. So not necessarily a high wisdom. So I just put the caster to sleep, and then kill everyone else, and then kill the caster. Because those wizards be
Fair.
throwing out burning arcs like it's fucking Christmas. So,
Almost
I hate it.
3 more days. Dating the use of, or dating this fucking podcast.
Yeah, Igor, there are feats to expand how many can be slumbered, but yeah, they're not in the game. It's just a tabletop thing, unfortunately.
Oh, I didn't even know that they had.
But
those.
though, I think you can get like an upgraded version of, like, you can get Deep Slumber as a hex later on, though, which I feel like is a pretty good one.
I thought the only thing that did was just did damage to them while they were sleeping. Like, it didn't like allow you to affect any extra, like with slumber or anything.
Yeah, but it's still cool. Like, I use Slumber throughout almost the whole game. Like, I can generally always put someone to sleep.
Usually by like Act 4 is just like auto murdering everything because you've got your party pretty well built and rolling or whatever. So I use it much less like in the second half of the game. But I used to use it a ton in the beginning. It's definitely good there. And still use it occasionally, like beginning and mid and whatnot.
Restless Slumber. Restless Slumber
Yeah.
deals damage. Eternal Slumber makes him sleep forever. Got it.
All right, so we're on to
Next level.
Act 3
I was
or
gonna say,
level 3.
after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have to talk about the hexes again now, so we got it out.
Pretty
of the
much,
way.
yeah.
Dodge feat.
I'm okay with this.
I'm fine. It's a point to AC. I mean,
It's a point to AC. It's not focusing you in any particular direction except for melee.
yeah.
Um,
And honestly,
what
like,
what would she take instead? Like,
I'd
what are the
probably-
other options?
I'd probably take this later in the game anyway.
We're talking about dodge. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could take.
I mean, I guess if you're going to be tanking with her, or if you're going to be trying to get a bunch of attacks of opportunity, then dodge is a good choice. Because don't you have? Wait, maybe you don't have to take that. Never mind. For some
No,
reason I was
combat
thinking you had to
reflexes does
take-
not require dodge.
Yeah, it doesn't require dodge. It just requires like 13 dexterity, like dodge does, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it has the same requirement. But
Because
So,
I was
yeah,
actually
I mean-
gonna suggest that as a potential alternative.
yeah,
I mean,
Because she has a very high dex, so getting all those extra attacks of opportunity, especially if you send her into the ranged enemies, every
Oh.
time they take a shot, she stabs them.
I imagine everybody probably remembers what I would prefer here, which is blind fight, or maybe like shake it
Shield
off.
wall,
One of those
right?
two.
That's your favorite shield wall.
No, not shield wall. I'm good with shield wall.
you
I've
can.
never used shield wall. It just yeah.
Me neither.
We can already take Piranha Strike at this point.
Yeah.
If we wanted to.
I don't know. I don't like that, especially on a 3/4 like base attack bonus character.
I probably wouldn't take Piranha Strike this
This early.
early, but I would probably take it at some point just because it's more damage.
Yeah, like later on, but
Yeah.
this early, I really don't
Yeah,
think so.
early on, it's definitely less of a thing, for sure.
Also, if we're assuming that whoever is using auto builds are playing at like low level, like normal or story or something, then a +1 to AC is a lot more effective at those levels. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll just point that out.
Yeah. Honestly,
I still don't like dodge at level 3 though.
I would probably prefer weapon focused rapier. Like, I'm gonna use a rapier with her. There's good rapiers in the game. She has a +1 to rapiers anyway. I don't see why I wouldn't. And she's only proficient in simple weapons otherwise. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
true.
I would I guess I could be okay with that, and then take the blind fight instead at like level 5 or something.
Yeah, weapon focus rapier. This is one of the few characters that I would say weapon focus this early is okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time you're going to be, you know, if you're taking weapon focus, then you're basically locking yourself into a specific weapon.
Yeah. Which is difficult early on.
Yeah, especially if, well, like, here's another thing. If you're new to the game and you don't know what weapons there are available, you can't really say, oh, there's really good rapiers throughout the game, because, you know, you have to go off of the assumption that the person doesn't know that.
Exactly.
So locking somebody in, especially when, you know, they might not find them. You know, if they're off the beaten path, if they're hidden, they might not find those weapons. So forcing somebody into a particular playstyle with a particular weapon,
I just feel like
as opposed to dodge, which is very, very open ended.
I just feel like if she's got like 19 dex and like Igor says you've got a rapier in your portrait, you got a bonus to rapiers, you got the ability to use one as the only martial weapon you can use, then I don't see why you would.
Rapiers makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not gonna give her a short sword. Like, hell no. A whole step down on the dice level? No thanks.
Yeah. Also, just real quick, I want to point out that Gunnar Colt has called this the nerdiest thing that he has ever watched on YouTube, and wants to say well done and congratulations, gents. I just thought that was interesting.
Thank
so
you.
I figured I'd throw that out there.
I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
I did also want to point out, out of the 3 different +1 to AC feats she could take here, dodge is definitely better than armor focus or shield focus because it affects your
Touch AC?
touch. Is it touch AC that it affects?
Yeah.
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 And I'm terrified of touch AC.
Touch attacks. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Germaphobe. Right?
Yeah. I would prefer to defend against that than flat-footed at this point, because we still have a while before we fight the Bhaal, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
you get the one in Market Square, but other than that, it's just Worm's Mansion and then the Grey Garrison.
And you can let Sela handle it.
Yeah. Yep.
Or your
Let
pet.
Sela handle it. Or your pet.
Yeah.
Yep. Or summon something if you know where it's at, which you probably don't if you're brand new to the game, but I would definitely do that. Anyways, okay, so dodge is kind of meh, but not necessarily the most terrible choice they could have made.
It makes at least it makes sense, and it's not an illogical choice.
It helps with what they're trying to get her to be.
Everyone can tell that we're
want
just
her to
kind
be a
of
tanky
settling.
frontliner type of character. So getting that bonus to AC makes a lot of sense. Also,
right,
I'm going to
Hammer
shield
the
just
Gap.
a little bit here because I finally uploaded the most recent world record for Kingmaker today. It is up on my YouTube channel. It is. I beat it in an hour and 13 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
In game time. That is without load screens. So if you add those in, it is an hour and 31 minutes.
Well done, man.
I beat Kingmaker in an hour and a half.
Well done.
There you go, Pondor, world record holder for Kingmaker. Be sure you follow it.
2 weeks ago, I fucking did that run, and I finally uploaded it today because I kept fucking forgetting.
Well, as long as it's there for the world to see, definitely awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gotta see you get it under an hour now. Hour and 13. You gotta shave 14 more minutes off. Go on, man.
Jeez, I don't even know if that's. I really doubt that that's possible. I don't even know if 110 is possible. But I'm, you got to keep going.
Yep.
Got to keep trying.
All right.
Yeah.
Level 4. They're gonna put all of her stat increases into Dex, which honestly, good job. Thank you for not putting it in
that. Yeah, she has an odd number, so we're good with that.
We're digging with it.
All right.
Then we get Battle Master.
Battle Master is
for skills. I would just like to point out that they only put the 3 in mobility, and then they start going to stealth. So they're not putting them all into mobility.
They changed
wait.
skills.
Just to point that out, they changed it to stealth, which
Oh,
I feel is
shit.
kind of fitting.
Whoa.
But changing it to persuasion might have been a little more on point, like you were mentioning before. But hey,
Yeah.
at least they only put the 3 in mobility, which makes a ton of sense. I'm glad they did
For
that.
fighting defensively, since
I
she
did not
has a
think that
shield and all that.
they ever switched.
Hey, they're showing some common sense since the enhanced edition release,
Yeah.
man.
Pondor and I
bit
have
of
done
it.
a handful of these, and we've never seen them switch skills. That's
Yeah, so this
nuts.
is a change because we did Camellia when we did that.
Yeah.
So this is another change.
Yeah, they updated this auto build too.
All right, good job, Alcat.
Yeah.
The Hex Battle Master, I mean, you're gonna, I feel like take it at some point because it's free feats, but I don't see a point in taking it before 8th level, to be honest.
Like taking Battlemaster
Yeah.
before level 8?
Or, like, I don't see why you would take Battle Master this early. It's just an extra attack of opportunity, and that's it until 8th level, when you get the actual free feats that it gives you. Because eventually
Alright,
it
well-
gives you weapon specialization and greater weapon focus, which is great. But until
Yeah.
then, it's just like, oh,
I mean, it's in the name.
free attack of opportunity, great, that's it.
Yeah, she even gets her next Hex at level 8, so that would kind of make sense.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a little early, but
Yeah, for sure. We saw Protective Luck there, which is definitely better. Slumber, I think, would probably be better here. I don't know if anything else would be. I'm not nearly as big on the debuffs like Evil Eye and whatnot as what some
I was
people
about to
are.
say I was about
Right.
to say Evil Eye is actually pretty good.
It is-
-2
It is
to
pretty
any
good.
of those things.
I just prefer some of the other ones over it. But no, it's really not bad. I think it would also probably be a better choice than Battlemaster here.
Hampering Hex is just straight up a -2 to AC to a character. That would even
Yeah.
be pretty good.
But so is Evil Eye, right? Oh yeah, AC is on that list.
Yeah.
If you wanted to build her as a caster, you also have your secrets, and you could take some meta magic. Not something that somebody who's not familiar with the game is probably going to be doing.
Right.
But,
yeah.
you know, if you wanted there to be a caster or something, you could maybe go that route.
You could do Fury for morale bonus to attack rolls, because at this early level, are there really that many morale bonuses to attack rolls yet? I don't think so.
If you have a Bard.
If you have a
Yeah, I
Bard.
guess if you have a Bard or the Scald is morale too, right? But
Yeah, or a Skull. But that's it.
maybe the incense synthesizer is. I'm not.
No,
sure.
that's an
Maybe.
alchemical bonus.
Yeah, you're right. Alchemical, yeah.
So Fury would be good if you just want to, like, you get +2.
I don't.
Basically, it gives you rage without the AC penalty, right?
Yeah, for a number of for 3 rounds at this point, basically. For 3 rounds, a +2 to your attack roll and saving throws against Fury.
I don't know. I feel like that would get outdated. And, like, I prefer to pick things that'll, like, be good for the entire game whenever I can. I mean, maybe that would still be better than Battlemaster here, maybe.
But it is only once per day, but most of these things are, like, a lot of these things are once per day, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not just you, either.
Exactly. And we're getting,
you
like,
could-
6 or other hexes. Like, there's not that many that are worth taking, in my opinion, so.
Okay.
But,
Maybe Misfortune.
I mean, Battlemaster's good, I guess,
Can
in
you
the
stack
sense that...
Misfortune and Protective Luck?
Can you what?
Like, if you have both Misfortune on the enemy and Protective Luck on your character, does the enemy have to roll 4 times?
I don't think
Or
so,
3
because
times.
in tabletop you would
I'm
still
not- I'm
only
not
roll
sure.
twice. You can't
I'm
have
not-
double
I'm not trying that
advantage
out.
or double disadvantage.
Ooh, garbage.
No. You actually can make the enemy roll 3 times if you stack your protective lucks, but yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think Misfortune.
I mean,
works
yeah,
like that.
Battlemaster is fine in the sense that you're probably going to take it at some point, but
yeah, potentially better things to take. now.
All right, so then we got level 5 up next. Points
Gross.
into trickery and stealth.
Toughness.
And we're
Gross.
taking toughness. Oh my god.
Gross. Here's an
Nerd.
extra 5 health.
I think it might
Uh,
be
How much damage is
easier to
everybody
list.
doing? 12 to 15 probably at this point. Yeah, here's that extra 5 health. It'll help you tank a half a hit.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier to list the things that you would want to take less than toughness than the things that you would want to take over toughness.
Throw anything.
Definitely got to be a lot fewer of those.
I don't get how toughness is worded. He says +3 hit points, right? And then for every hit die you possess beyond level 3, gain an additional hit point. Why wouldn't you just say, for every level you possess, gain a hit point? It's the same
Because
thing.
Because if you take
If
it
you
at
take
level
it at
1,
level
you still get that
it's like
3.
a huge boost at level 1.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I guess they're trying to entice you to take it like from the very beginning, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also absolutely disgusting to take
There's
toughness.
Yeah,
never-
I think it's terrible.
A reason to take toughness. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever in your life take toughness.
Nope.
It's not worth it.
Agreed. It's bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, toughness is terrible. Well, we didn't really say what else we would take besides that, though.
Anything.
More of the
Yeah,
stuff
well,
that we would have taken before, probably, right? Like blind fight, weapon
yeah,
focus.
blind fight. Yeah, weapon focus.
Piranha
combat
Strike.
Piranha
refocus.
Strike.
Like at this
yeah.
point, what's her
Yeah.
BAB? +3.
Okay.
So at level
alright.
6, she'll be up to +4. So that's another, +4 to damage.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Improved initiative.
Yeah.
I love improved initiative. I will always say that is a good feat to have.
Level 6, nothing happens. Woo!
Yep. Very boring.
First mythic rank.
Abundant casting.
Actually, they pointed out that we could have taken Chant there, which I don't know. Maybe Chant would have been a good idea because it is nice to have Chant. Although,
Yeah.
I guess with Ice Plant and Battle Master, maybe there's not as
Yeah, with Ice
reason for
Plant.
it.
Yeah, so Chant would only be good if we also swapped out Ice Plant for something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't
As the
Chant,
build
Ice
stands
Plant.
right now, Chant does absolutely nothing until, well, even now with these two, it still doesn't do anything.
Okay, all right, we're good.
So, abundant casting. She is a full caster, but for her build, I don't like. If I took abundant casting, I wouldn't take it this early. I feel like there are combat-oriented things you could take instead at this point, given the rest of her build.
I mean,
Take something like Leading Strike,
Last Stand, melee character, give him Last Stand.
Rupture Restraint. Well, I don't think Rupture Restraints would be that big this early. Well, no. There's a lot of nauseated and other effects in Canabras, isn't there? Well, I guess at this point you're leaving Canabras.
I could probably get behind Last Stand, especially if you're playing her as a melee character. I don't know. I think Abundant Casting is actually a pretty solid choice, depending on the rest of your
not
party
terrible.
makeup. But yeah, being able to cast, like extra protection spells, being able to cast Bark Skin on more members of the party, that kind of stuff is pretty helpful if you don't have it already with somebody else.
Right.
I think
here's a
Abundant
question.
Casting is a fairly solid choice.
You can take a second spirit.
Here's a question about Shaman mechanics, because I don't play with her basically ever. Is she like a bard in which she needs to choose spells every time she levels up, or is it like a druid or a cleric? where
It's
she
a
just
cleric.
has access?
It's a divine caster.
Okay.
I would argue for potentially like choosing a second spirit. It increases your spell pool as well. You get some bonus spells there. And
So what?
Let's
Bring Hex,
see.
bonus spells, enlarge person, bull strength, magical vest.
Stone gives you eventually gives you Stone Skin and Stone Skin communal
Yeah.
and protection from spells.
Protection from spells is really good.
Wind gives you blur and displacement.
Yeah, I was about to say I was looking to see if that did that.
There's
Yeah.
also a I was gonna say, I can't remember if it's air barrier or wind ward, but one of those two hexes is like a pretty good defensive hex as well. So that could also be really good.
Yeah.
I like the wind spirit a lot. Oh, Igor says life spirit for channeling, but she already learns those. No. Oh, yeah, she already learns those, but don't shamans get like a bonus spell
they're
slot
bonus
thing for their
spells.
spirits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would get this, and then you
Yeah.
could use those spells in your bonus slots instead of in your regular spell slots.
Yeah, you could do life.
I was about to say, I see heal mass on that life list.
My issue is
I like it.
I wouldn't do life unless I like wasn't bringing along Darren. But if you're gonna bring along Camellia, I don't see why you would be. You wouldn't be a good guy anyway, so why not bring Darren? That's just.
Imagine thinking about
Exactly,
I'm
Igor. Not
role
bringing
playing.
Darren, preposterous.
I'm okay with taking the second spirit at some point, but I still think maybe abundant casting is better because I don't see any of these early spells for any of these that are like really great spells that she wouldn't already get,
That's fair.
and then be able to get more of if you're adding 3 extra spells.
And we
slots
don't
per-
get-
we at level 6.
We don't get a
level.
next hex until level 8 or whatever anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, level 6 right now. So what's she has full spell progression?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like you could
Is it
combine her
delayed
book with
or-
Angel, actually, or not. Sorry, if you were a shaman, you could combine your book with Angel. It's a full divine.
right, but
caster.
I'm asking, is it
She gets
like a
spells at every-
wizard's progression where it's like every odd level she goes up a spell level,
Yeah.
it's
or
like
is it delayed?
no, it's like a cleric or a druid or a wizard.
That's the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah.
So she would have access to level 3 spells right now. Which,
level
if
5,
we're
yeah.
looking at light, that does give us neutralized poison. Oh, that's neutralized. That's not delayed. Never mind.
But she
Yeah,
does
like
get the
poison.
full effect from abundant casting at this point. Then
This
Yeah.
is true. So what would she have? She would have displacement with wind. She would gain access to displacement
True.
with wind.
yeah, I think abundant casting is good. I think at some point taking second spirit would be nice, but I doubt they'll give it to us honestly.
Probably not. no.
Probably not,
I
yeah.
would be very surprised if
I'd
they
be
did.
pretty surprised. Yeah. Me too. All right. So we're going to level 7 now.
Yes,
We're
sir.
good.
You know what would be interesting? Okay,
I was
if-
gonna laugh if it's like weapon focus,
Let-
short spear.
If eventually,
That would have been awesome.
here's my
Yeah.
thought: what if eventually they gave Camellia, like, if they gave her the right hexes to be able to chant, and then also gave her battle meditation, she could do both at the same time. Because battle meditation is just you can't move, but she could chant while doing that.
Wait, what is?
It gives everyone a morale bonus to damage, or I think.
You're right. No, I'm just trying to think. What move action? Is it a move action, a standard action?
It's a move action, or you can't move with battle meditation. You have to stay put.
Right.
So if you're chanting, you have to stay put anyway. If you're just gonna full round action chant.
Is chant a full route?
If you want to, like, I think it might.
Not
No,
a full
I-
round action. I think it takes your move action to do it, but I think you can use
I
your
was about to
regular
say, I'm
action
pretty sure
to
it's either a
still
move or a swift action.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, because
If you look right
like
here,
that was like the super
Yeah.
broken part of Cackle at least, is you can do it while doing everything else that you do normally.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
We
sure.
we could check that at level 8.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'll look at
check
it.
it
Weapon
right here, but
focus,
it's not
right.
actually showing up.
Yep. Weapon focus
Alright.
rapier, good.
Yep.
It's good. I mean, I would definitely prefer outflank here if you're using her as a melee, which it seems like that's the case.
Yeah, outflank would be good too.
But
Yeah, but you have to figure
But think about
they
this:
can't-
if
they
you're
can't
doing
build
all,
this character, assuming that you're going to have another character in the party, each party member has to stand on their own. So unless they take outflank on every melee character, which arguably they should. But unless they do that, then taking Outflank on any
Yeah,
is
that's
bad.
what I was thinking. Is like if you're using all auto builds, no one's gonna have Outflank.
Or if they wanted to help new players to realize how good Outflank is, they could have put it on every single melee auto build just to show them
that's what I
how
was
good it
saying.
is, and they would have trained them, you know, to be better whenever they raise up the difficulty. You can think of it like that too. But
Yeah. No, I was saying like if they were going to put it on one, they need to put it on all.
I don't know. I like the idea of them doing builds that aren't great to get you to come up with your own way of doing things rather than be like, this feat's good, use it. Because
Well, yeah, that's what we were talking about back when we recorded these videos.
Yeah.
Is these builds are intentionally suboptimal.
I feel like when I play tabletop games, one of the things I hate is when an experienced player is like, well, you should really take this feat. It's like really good. It's like the meta is everyone of this class takes this feat. I'd be like, no, I don't care.
well,
The meta,
if that's
of
the way the
tabletop
player
games.
feels about it, then they shouldn't be using auto builds. They should be discovering it on their own anyways, because this is intentionally misleading them to believe maybe things that are not optimal are optimal because, you know, they think that the person who makes the game is going to give them a good build.
I mean, the builds are good enough to get through the lower difficulties. Like up through normal, I can see these builds being perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And if you're playing on harder than normal and trying to use auto builds, oof.
Also,
That's a rough decision that you've made in your life, buddy.
We need to have a challenge here for our stream. Let's core difficulty, auto builds only. Let's
Ugh.
go beat the game. I bet we could do it.
just go all the way. Unfair auto build only.
No, I definitely couldn't do that. I do unfair with maximizing my builds.
I will say,
Boo.
if you're a new player, if you are playing a game that has auto builds and you go into it trusting the devs to give you a good auto build, that's your first mistake. Don't trust the devs. Never trust the devs.
Okay, but if you are trusting the devs, how are you? You're not there to tell them that they're making the mistake. You're not there to correct them.
I'm telling you right now.
To let them know. Yeah, you're telling the 20 people that are watching our 3 streams. That's it.
I
The
don't
other
fucking know.
millions of people that are playing the game. You're not telling them.
Yeah.
I'm
But like another thing is like you can only play through the game. Well,
I totally
I say this
agree.
as somebody who
And
uses the
I know
exact same
people that are
build
like
every time I play through
super
Kingmaker.
uppity and
but
like
that's
there's
for
a
a
right
different
way
reason.
to play D&D.
If you're gonna
and
play through this game multiple times, you're
gross.
not going to use the auto build
Disgusting.
every single time. You might use it the first time through. And then the second time you're gonna go through and you're gonna start using your own builds, right? Like I can only assume that the auto builds are only used the first time that somebody plays through one of these games, right? Like,
I
do
mean-
you guys feel like people would do auto builds multiple times in multiple different playthroughs?
I feel like most people are only going to play through the game one time because of how long it is. Like that's how I feel. Like
That's also
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
you know,
That's also fair.
Maybe some of the hardcores that we have in our audience are like, no, we're playing it 4, 5, 6 times, whatever. But I feel like the general player
times.
base is like, you know, one time only. Maybe after a few years and they've already forgotten everything. If they had to do auto builds, they didn't know that much to begin with. They go through and play it again or something.
What's
But
up,
But
Okay.
like
guys?
for that type
What
of
up,
player,
buddy?
auto builds should be fine. And they don't really need to have a build that's better.
Dark Master.
So
I
in that particular
hear your
scenario,
call.
like the auto builds do
Hey,
their
10
job.
months,
They are
friend.
there. They
10
are good enough to get them
months.
through the game
Hell yeah.
on a lower difficulty
Thanks
that
for
a
the
newer
resub,
player
buddy.
is going to play on.
It's been a good 10 months,
And,
my friend.
And then they're done with the game. They enjoyed it or they didn't or whatever, and then they move on. And the auto builds did what they needed to do.
Yeah, no,
Um,
the auto builds will definitely do what they need to do, but I thought the whole point of this was to point out where they could, you know, be better or where we
Oh, no,
wish
no,
they
I-
were better or something.
Yeah, no. That is. I'm just saying, like, my point was these are intentionally suboptimal. So it's not like the devs are idiots. and realize like, oh man, this would be way better objectively than the one that we picked. We're picking the worst one because we don't know any better. We want to give the player room to make something themselves that is not automatically worse than what we did. Because then what's the point of custom build?
Well, I agree that they're not idiots and that what they've done here is probably intentional, though I don't know. I think it's got
I think it's a double-edged
to
sword.
border a lot more on trolling than what you're talking about, but tomato, I guess.
I think it's just damned if you do, damned if you don't. To be honest, I think there's not a
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
way to do
one way
it.
or the other.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough regardless. If they
Yeah.
if they give you the perfect builds, then you're gonna have people bitching and moaning. Well, what's the point of customs then? If we'll just use the auto builds every single time, and if you build something that's less than perfect, then they're like, oh man, you guys are fucking idiots. You don't even know how to play your own game. It's a rough road regardless.
All right.
Yeah, that's level 7.
Mythic level 2 is weapon finesse mythic.
I am happy with this.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
perfectly
think
fine
she
with this.
has unless she uses a feat to get dex for damage. This is an easier way to do it.
You can't.
Is it? Do they not have
Dex to damage is a class ability only.
fencing grace
Or the mythic feat.
Fencing grace.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a class ability?
I think
No,
Fencing Grace
it's a
does
feat.
it.
I thought fencing grace was a feat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is too. I'm not sure what the prerequisites are for it. But yeah,
Because if she can take that, I'd rather her waste a feat than waste one of her limited mythic feats.
I also feel like this is too early for this because at most you're getting what you're throwing on a bull strength on her and you're getting an extra 2 damage. If you do that, and your bull strength is only lasting a very short amount of time at this point, anyways. So I feel like there could definitely be better choices here, but
right now this adds 4 to your damage roll because you have a +4 dex modifier.
What's her strength mod?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the one that allows you to add your strength to the damage roll. That's my bad. Yeah.
No,
okay.
yeah.
Never mind, you're right.
She has a +5. Oh wait, this might be because of.
She does have a +5 because she got a +1.
So she has a +5 to her
Yeah,
dex.
she has a +5.
Yeah.
Versus a 0.
I was thinking strength. I was thinking
So,
adding the strength.
Fencing
to
Grace
the-
only requires weapon
Anyways.
focus. So I really think that spending a feat for Fencing Grace would be a better use than spending a mythic feat to do
Yeah,
this.
especially since they just grabbed weapon focus.
Is that
so they
not?
definitely have
Wait,
it.
hold up.
According to Igor.
No, she does not have access to it. You can go into the extra feat, and she has no feat that begins with an F. It goes from endurance to great fortitude. Unless it's down in the not recommended. Oh no, wait, it is. I thought that this was a class-specific thing.
Nope.
I think there is a
Weird.
class specific one like for warrior or something that does something similar to it.
The
Uh-oh.
downside to Fencing Grace or Slashing Grace is that you have to pick one weapon, but if you just picked weapon focus, you would just choose that weapon. So
Yeah.
there's no point.
I goofed. I
But-
took off the auto build, so I have to go back.
Igor says,
you're fired.
why don't you use your mythic feat to pick extra feat Fencing Grace? This way you get to waste both of them.
Because we're not next level like you, Igor. We're not.
No.
I will be
Okay.
with you guys
What the-
momentarily.
What the hell is the feat stat focus? +1
What?
mythic bonus to the selected stat?
Yeah, the stat focus thing is.
What is
I
that?
don't know. It's weird.
I don't believe
Yeah,
that that's a
it's-
thing.
It's weird. It is. It's there. I remember looking at it.
I've never
Camellia
seen that
can
in my
get it?
life.
I remember looking at it whenever I was looking through all of the feats on my Trickster playthrough. I think it does something like you can choose from all the different stats and it like increases whatever.
Damn.
That's crazy. That is actually crazy.
I didn't know that existed.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've never
Weapon
seen that.
Finesse Mythic isn't bad. I'd rather waste a feat than a Mythic feat, but it's not bad.
I did not think that.
Yeah, I'm
I
down
swear to
with that.
God, I thought
Yeah.
Fencing Grace was like a Sword Lord thing or something.
No, there is a
one that is a sword.
sword
thing,
lord thing.
or
Okay.
a dueling sword.
Yeah, it's
thing.
dueling
Like,
grace.
I know that Rogue gets
Dueling
finesse
Grace.
training at 3.
Yeah, there you go. Dueling.
Yeah,
Grace.
dueling grace is for dueling swords
Dueling Grace.
specifically.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Dueling Grace. Okay.
Okay, so weapon finesse. Not the best, but not the worst either.
Yeah, it's a lot worse now that I know that there's a feat that does the same thing, but I literally thought that that was class ability only.
Hey, Lore Spire, can you confirm or deny if you're playing a sorcerer but using an Imperial sorcerer so you have the divine spellbook, do you get to mix it with the angel spellbook? Do you know that information or not? I don't know how many times you've played this game.
No, I don't. I've never
Okay.
tried that.
I have no idea.
If anybody out there knows, maybe Kristen or
Yeah, if
Matt,
anyone
you're around
knows.
or somebody knows,
Jake's
let us know.
Jake's trying it out and he thinks they do combine, but it'd be good to double check just to make sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
It only takes you about an hour to get through Dresden, so it shouldn't be too long before he can figure it out himself.
Yeah.
I would say that it should. If it doesn't, then it should. Kind of like how the Shaman spellbook used to not combine with the Angels. You know, eventually they fixed that.
Yeah.
It should if it's a full progression
yeah.
spellbook, divine spellbook.
All right. Level 8.
More decks.
We get weapon
Obviously.
specialization for free because of Battle Master.
Yep.
And we're
Very nice.
also
Very nice.
taking Aura of Purity, which I don't love because
I really don't.
we have
don't
to-
love. I don't like
Freaking
it.
terrible.
Why would we just
Like
delay
just
commune poison? Like we don't need
Right
delay
here.
poison. Yeah.
She got this at level 5. Delay poison communal, which is the same thing except definitely better. So,
Yeah, because you don't have to be standing within 10 feet of the shaman to get it.
Yeah.
and you don't have to try to cast it. You just cast it once and let it go. And yeah, it's
And this one
just-
says effects
mainly
caused by
better.
spells whose level is more than half the shaman's class level are unaffected. Like it doesn't even stop all gases.
Yeah. So like if you
Terrible-
get hit by a
terribler
fucking
and
cloud kill
terribler.
at this point, you're fucked.
Yeah, this is
Like this does
Bad,
nothing
bad.
against cloud kill at this point.
This is bad,
Yeah.
bad. We've already gone over what hexes we would take instead. Any
Yeah,
of the ones
I
we've
would-
said would be better than this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely the worst.
The
choice
only
they've made in
thing
her
that this
build so
has
far.
going for it is it's a passive. Right? No.
No, it's not.
It's
I don't.
not
It's a
passive.
hex. It's a hex. Like you
Yeah.
gotta use
Well,
it.
like
It's a
well, like the other two
toggleable.
hexes that we've taken are both passive.
It's a toggleable thing.
Oh,
it's
it
a
is toggleable. Okay, it's that
but
makes it.
it's minutes equal to her level.
I'll say this: that makes it 100 times better. But 100 times 0 is still 0. So it sucks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said, Lord Spire. Well
This is-
said.
This is not. Is this the worst hex?
I don't know if it's the worst hex. We'd have to go through and compare them all. It's pretty goddamn bad. It very well could
It's
be.
really bad.
It's pretty damn bad.
Really bad.
It might. Certainly, nothing's coming to mind. The Draconic Resilience one seems pretty bad. Maybe
Draconic Resilience is better at higher levels because you do get immunity to paralysis.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay,
sleep
yeah,
is also
way
well,
better.
Sleep is
It's way better.
immunity to sleep is shit in this game because I don't think there's any sleep mechanics for enemies. I can't think of a single time where any enemy has ever tried to put me to sleep.
Yeah, nothing's coming to my mind either. I feel like it has happened, but definitely nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
think any of these are worse than this or like as redundant.
Yeah, because like,
Well,
well,
as long
maybe
as
if
they
you're
do
a witch
anything,
and
they're
not
better.
a shaman, like, because a witch, do witches have access to delay poison communal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so
No?
because they're arcane casters. I don't.
I'm
think
trying to
they
remember
do.
who all had it. I had like
But I mean,
so many people.
somebody
looking
in
at
your
my
party is going to have it though.
Yeah,
Darren,
like unless you don't have
Sociel.
Darren or
Yeah.
Sociel or Camellia or
Nails. Nails is pretty bad, but it
I was gonna
does
say Nails-
something. It doesn't.
Yeah.
There's
it's not
no
as bad.
downside. It just does a thing that you normally didn't do. That's Nails. That makes it better than Purity because Purity
Yeah,
is
it,
something
it,
you already
it gives
do.
you it gives you an extra attack, which can be
Yeah.
helpful.
Can be. Not likely, but can be.
Yeah,
Not
it
with
counts
1d3
as
damage.
natural weapons as well, so it's not an unarmed attack, which means you don't provoke attacks of opportunity with it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'd have to get down to like some of these spirit-specific ones for there to even be a chance of one.
And
not
most of
being
those are
good.
actually pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would
This
say.
one's trash.
All right.
Trash.
So all right, yeah,
Garbaggio.
y'all heard it here. Or Purity, definitely the worst text in the game. Moving on.
Trash. Combat cast. As somebody who's never played with Camellia, I can't say much on this. I do not know how often she is
Combat.
casting in combat and not before.
I mean, usually you're doing buffs. Like, you're pretty much just doing buffs. Like druids and shamans have the best like buffing spell list, in my opinion. So you're just doing buffs before combat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what spells you would cast in combat unless you got despelled. Like if you got
Yeah,
dispelled,
which does happen a couple of times.
which does happen. But I don't know if
It's
it
bullshit
warrants.
every time it does. By the way, game developers, I hate that. Don't do it.
I don't know if it warrants taking combat casting though.
No, not at all. Like two fights in the entire game where you get dispelled, not worth taking an entire feat over.
And at higher levels, this is just like it's just a soft +4. Like it's not.
Yeah, combat casting not very
No.
good.
I loved it
I,
on.
I almost never take it on anybody.
In Pathfinder Kingmaker, I always took it on Ragongar. Because he's always
Well,
casting
yeah,
Well,
but he's
the combat.
yeah.
always casting in
Yeah.
combat, so that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
But that's
There's
it. That's
not
the
really much
only
reason
time.
for her to be, or for most characters will not be unless they're a freaking, what was he?
Magus.
Not Sword Saint. Yeah, I was trying to think.
If
of
you're a
specific one.
Magus, combat casting, great. Otherwise,
damn it.
you
Yep.
don't need it.
Or you could just
Anyway.
do what I did and give him a Vanquisher and just have him cut people in half the entire game.
Yeah, that
But the
probably works.
extra lightning damage. Shocking grasp.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, he one-shots most people in that game anyway. Old boy's over here critting for 150 damage. I don't think that extra, 2d6 is going to help that much.
Mythic level 3, improved abundant casting. I mean, sure. I mean, we got the first one, we're getting the second one, so cool, I guess.
So she's got up to level 5 spells up to this point. She does not have access to level 6 just yet. But I guess that's it. So we're level 8 right now? Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so
level
she'll
eight.
be getting level 6 spells at level 9 then. So she'll be getting full
Oh, I would like to point
full
out. I
benefits from this.
don't think I've ever gotten my third mythic rank at level 8. So I think most of the time you're going to be getting it at level 9 or 10, where you'd already have
Yeah.
it.
That's true.
This is I think going through, okay, if they did literally nothing the fuck else.
Yeah,
What
like none of the
level are
side
they?
quests or whatever. Like what's the earliest they could possibly get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I'm pretty sure I proved them wrong. But,
I mean,
that's a very specific thing.
usually when I play full casters, I feel like the 4th and 5th and 6th level spells is kind of the sweet spot for spells in terms of like these are generally the ones I want to have like a shit ton of.
Yeah.
on hand.
Yeah, this is, if you're a blaster caster, this is your Cone of Colds, your Chain Lightnings, your controlled fireballs, those
I
types
think
of
we
things.
have.
I want to have a shitload of all the spells, especially if I'm a full caster.
Well, yeah.
Just me.
I'm definitely not against this, but is this better than like Last Stand or Rupture
Well,
Restraint?
it's definitely not better than Last Stand, but
100% not
Yeah.
better than Last Stand.
but I would say it probably is better than almost anything else. You might make an argument for Rupture Restraints because you have the damned undead battle starting at the beginning of Act 3 that is just like a party wiper that ended multiple freaking Last Aslanti runs for us. So, I mean, I might accept an argument for Rupture Restraints just because of that one battle, but you can always wait till the end of the act to do that battle, and then it's not
Yeah, and also, besides those two, the thing is that a lot of these other kind of, like, buffy kind of mythic abilities, like, the Shaman's buffing pool is just so good that if you just have more spells, you're just better off anyway.
What do y'all think about?
Okay, so what about the angel mythic pools?
Angels.
We were talking about the buffy ones. What about the angel ones?
Angel's buff is the best. They have the best buffs in the game. And if you mix it with the shaman, which I have done in a playthrough before, Angel Shaman's buffing ability is freaking insanity. It's insanity.
Also, I'm very happy that neither of you caught the fucking Buffy Angel pun.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all right.
Referencing shows that haven't existed in what, like 20 years now?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm 27.
Yeah, that was my favorite show, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
Probably still top 5 Buffy.
Ah. Thank you.
So yeah,
we have a 4th member in the podcast.
If we're gonna
now.
take abundant casting, then I'm glad to take improved abundant casting.
Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this.
Improved abundant casting's fine.
Level 10.
Let's go with that.
Ameliorating. Which
pretty sure that one sucks too.
It's not.
I believe that. I think that if I remember right, Ember gets this as well.
It's just not good enough. That's that's all I have to say. It's not good enough, and at this point in the game, with all of the different buffing spells you can have, I don't think it's even worth taking at all. Like I would take it early on, if anything.
It's definitely
this is
not
real rough for level
as
10 for sure.
As Aura of Purity, but yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty terrible. I think I tried taking it once just to see if maybe I could make some kind of use of it, and it was terrible. Yeah,
it's
just as terrible as it seems like it would be. So yeah, I hate ameliorating. Yeah. Seems like they're picking, well, after the first one, maybe they haven't picked it one that I thought was optimal at all. But after the first one or maybe 2 hexes, yeah, these last 2 are complete garbage that I would never use.
Yep.
Yeah. Agreed. Still don't have a single one that could benefit from chant, I don't think.
Nope.
Nope, we don't.
Nope.
We don't.
Level 11, we've got Piranha
At least
Strike.
they haven't taken chant yet.
Yeah, yeah, they just get it without anything that it benefits. Oh my god.
Okay, so we have Fencing Grace here as a thumbs up at least, but Piranha Strike's what they're choosing.
Strike.
Wait, why is Fencing Grace thumbs up?
Yeah, you would think they'd give it a thumbs down
already
after they
have
already
this.
took. Yeah, after they already took the.
And it was it had the thumbs down when we were in that section.
Well, let's
which
read
is
it
why
and
I
make
said that
sure
you
we
didn't have
understand
access
it
to it
correctly.
at first.
I like
Wait,
Piranha
she
Strike.
uses a buckler, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it literally says you can still use a buckler.
Yeah, you can still use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just the exact same thing.
That's really strange.
Actually, the other one you might say is better because the other one just lets you use your dexterity instead of your strength. This does have the stipulation that you can't do it with two weapons or using flurry of blows.
Right.
So you might, I guess, argue
What's
that the
up,
other
dude?
one's better.
Here's the real
What
question.
up, Scyther?
Do they
How's
stack?
it going, buddy?
That would be busted.
They
That
definitely
would be busted.
They definitely should not, but given how many other things stack that probably shouldn't stack, it needs to be tested.
So,
it needs to be tested.
What were you saying about this one compared to the other one? I feel like because the other one you still have to use a weapon that uses weapon finesse.
Right, but you can dual wield. or
Yeah,
use
that's
flurry
why I
of
said you can't
blows,
dual
or
wield
have a
or
shield in
use
your offhand.
flurry of blows, which does give the other one at least some kind of an advantage over.
Yeah,
fencing
but she's
grace.
never gonna have flurry of blows or dual wield. So
I mean, you could dual
You
wield
can
with her.
dual wield without two.
she's not gonna get 2-weapon fighting in this auto build.
No,
She's
but
not,
like
but
we're
you can
talking
still
about
do
this
weapon
as
fight.
a feat in general.
Oh,
Like,
as a
this
feat in
feat
general, yes, it's better.
This is worse than the mythic one,
Yeah.
which it should be.
For
This is a
her-
normal
Yeah.
feat. That one's a mythic. That one should be
Yeah,
better.
exactly.
But
But for her
For
build,
her
this is
specifically, fencing grace would be better.
yeah,
Yes,
fencing grace
yeah.
would be
I would
better.
say the fencing grace would be
Absolutely.
a better choice because we have more feats. But
So, Scyther, we are going
What
through
we do-
the auto
why?
builds for
are you
companion characters in
oh,
Wrath of the
you're trying to
Righteous
get
and
entirely under the cover, huh?
roasting them and shitting on them and talking about what we would do better, basically. And
so we got
talking
Piranha
about
Strike
old
here.
games and stuff.
It is the power attack for Dex
Uh,
characters. For
We
those
were
of
all
you who do
talking
not know.
about fencing
Um,
grace versus weapon
what are
finesse
you doing,
mythic
Cat?
because they do literally
I mean,
the
I
same
tried-
thing.
some real dumb stuff right now.
I still don't like it, but I guess if you're on a low difficulty setting, you don't really have trouble hitting anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's all right as long as they're
But I mean,
assuming a low difficulty.
Yeah.
setting.
wait,
here's the
so
question.
I don't see why
Improved critical or Piranha Strike? If we're looking at damage, which do you think would be better?
I mean, I
She's
would
using
much-
rapiers.
I would much rather have improved critical.
Same.
So
Because
I just want to ask Lord Spire why he doesn't like Piranha Strike when what is it, Deadly Shot and Power Attack also do like minuses to attack rolls, and I thought you liked Power Attack. Isn't that just like the same thing for Strength users? So
Like on Sela, sure, because she has a full base attack bonus. That's what I was saying. Like I don't like it
Okay.
on a 3/4 base attack
Gotcha.
bonus character. You know, because you already have, like at most you're gonna have plus 15 to your attack from your attack bonus, and then you're giving it another -4 or 5 or whatever it is. On top of that, whenever you're at max level, and I don't like that. Like I like it on full base attack bonus progression characters.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it'd be a
that's why I
-4,
was
I think.
saying. I guess at lower difficulties, it's not that big of a deal because it's easy to hit anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or late game, I think there are some buffs that like.
Well, yeah, you can definitely
yeah, there's like
get,
transformation
like,
and stuff like that where you
crazy
gain full
absurd
BAB.
buff. Yeah, and not just that, but you have the people that buff their guys to have like plus 100 attack. Like if you're doing some crazy shit like that, then sure, take Piranha Strike. But most of us aren't.
Yeah.
But-
And improved critical does both. It helps you hit the person and it also increases damage.
And with the rapier, your crit range is already
Yeah, it's an 18 to 20 and
Yeah.
you're doubling that to 15 to 20.
so
Like
that would,
it's a
that would be
you have
huge.
a 30% chance to crit at this point.
That would be huge.
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely like improved critical better.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd agree.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mythic rank level 4, weapon focus, mythic rapier.
I'm okay with this because she gets greater weapon focus later. I
That's
don't think
true.
I would take it this early though. I don't think I would take it this early.
Is she
Um,
she gets greater weapon focus later?
Yeah, from Battle
Because
Master.
Battlemaster gives greater
that
weapon
gives her
focus at
greater,
16.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But are they taking it this
Yeah,
early
I guess
because
so.
she's gonna get greater weapon focus sooner than later?
I fucking hope not.
Because I thought you got that at like level. I don't know what level. I think they
You
got that.
get
I mean-
greater weapon focus from Battlemaster at 16.
16.
Shit. As
Yeah.
a shaman, she shouldn't be able to get greater weapon focus. I mean, from
Yeah,
the
she
battle
can't
master
get it
thing,
on her
yeah, but
own
not as-
because that's
yeah.
a fighter
Yeah.
Um.
thing.
Okay, so weapon focus, I guess, is okay. Although I think if we're gonna take Piranha Strike, I like Piranha Strike Mythic to at least.
Piranha
maximize
Strike Mythic,
damage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Flawless attacks. Oh no, she doesn't dual wield, so flawless attacks wouldn't be as good. Dodge Mythic is super basic, but is also, it's another +1 to AC.
What if? Well, I mean, all right. I know. I guess what we're going to end up saying is that they wouldn't do this because it's supposed to be really basic. But taking an extra mythic ability and start up with like enduring spells or something like
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna suggest
Um,
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be alright with that.
That would be better.
Weapon
much
specialization mythic. Not great right now. It would only be a +2, but it becomes a decent chunk of extra damage as you go through the game.
True.
Yeah, I don't think it could compare to 24-hour buffs though.
No, not at all. Yeah, I think the buffs would probably be better.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep.
Oh, right.
All right, moving on.
Level 11.
Battle Ward.
Or level 12, sorry. Level 12, we get Battle Ward, which at this point, there's just so many spells that do deflection bonuses that this is dumb.
Yes. This does not stack with other things, does it?
It's a deflection bonus, so it doesn't stack with other deflection bonuses.
I would say.
Yeah. So
I would say
you
it's
just have a
not.
ring.
Yeah.
There you go. One
You
of
have
the
a
ring slots.
ring, or you have Shield of Faith, or you have protection from whatever alignment, or
Yeah.
a lot of different things.
Just more of choosing the wrong hex 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they may as well have just gone with a caster that isn't a shaman. I mean, I guess Ice Plant's okay, and Battle Master's okay, but they haven't taken any of the best ones, I don't think.
Yeah. They've really kind of shit the bed here
Yep.
with the hexes.
They did.
Yeah. All right. So good job, Owlcat. Good job.
Yay! You fucked up.
Yeah, Owlcat, you're up.
Level 13, we take Critical Focus.
Before improved critical.
For some reason.
Why though? Why would you ever take this? Before improved critical.
I mean,
Like that is such a question that I actually thought improved critical was a prerequisite for critical focus.
I mean, I don't like critical focus at all because I like to use buffs that just, auto confirm your crits. So I hate critical focus. I never get it.
I like it for the debuffs that you can get for it. But yeah, it in and of itself is not good.
Yep.
That is a very strange decision.
By the way, Scyther, I'm off for the next couple of days.
They've had a couple of those. They also have
As
combat
well?
casting. We got to remember that. To
Yeah,
combat
so,
casting back at level 9.
You're working
So
tomorrow,
Moron
but
over
I
here
have the
wants
next
to
couple days
suggest
off,
that
and I'm also
possibly
looking forward to
the default hexes they're choosing could be because they've given Ember all the good hexes and they don't want the hexes to overlap. Now I still think
That's
they
not
could've
true
been
because
better-
Ember has ameliorating as one of her hexes. I know that for a fact.
that. Yeah. She might
Yeah,
even
I'm
have
pretty sure-
Aura
I
of
think she's-
Purity.
start or yeah, maybe she starts out with that. I think now that you mentioned it, so that doesn't. No, I'm pretty sure she starts out with slumber and ameliorating.
Yeah.
And but anyways, I mean, maybe that could explain some of it. I guess maybe, but definitely not all of it, since we know they have at least one that does overlap. But it would be interesting, I guess, to see whenever we get the Ember if maybe they do pick up some of these better ones like Protective Luck and whatnot, the chance and stuff. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I'd also like to point out that at this level, she also gets the best buff in the game, Legendary Proportions.
It's a good one.
Very nice, very very good buff.
And there's like
And then
no
at
other
level
spells
14,
that
she
really
gets nothing.
use bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally buy a full stack of 99 dinosaur bones in Kingmaker, and I use them like twice. Just because it's faster to buy the full stack than it is to buy
be
2.
rich, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, level 14. Yeah, nothing happens.
So mythic rank next.
Mythic rank
Yep.
5. Last stand.
Hey,
That's
there we go.
good. At least they took it. They took it.
When do we get 5? 5 is when we go... Is that when we go into the Abyss? Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is in the Midnight Fane, should be. So, yeah, like right whenever you're about to go into the Abyss.
Wait, you don't get a
Act
mythic
4.
ability there. You get it as you go through the portal. Like, after you go through the portal.
Well, yeah, that yes, you're right. That's where I was
Okay.
referring to, like at the end of the
Okay.
Midnight Fane, as you're entering. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I was just like, wait, you don't get it in the Fane.
No, it's
I was like thinking that like you get it earlier on. Okay. But yeah,
Okay.
so getting
So-
Last Stand going into the Abyss, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to have it earlier,
Pretty
but
good.
um, things definitely do start getting a lot tougher in the Abyss, and there's a lot of tricky stuff going on there. So maybe they're like inexperienced characters. You know, we'll go ahead and throw them a bone with this, so that whenever they end up aggroing the entire flesh markets instead of taking out each group one at a time, maybe they'll have a
I've
small
never
chance
done
of
that.
surviving.
I've never picked a fight with everybody in the flesh markets. Never, ever.
Yeah, that sounds like
Neither have I, but-
chaotic good bullshit to me. That's what that sounds like.
I sense there's some inside joke I'm not privy to.
It's because when you're the Azada, you have to fight the flesh markets.
Not the entire group at once.
But
though.
you could still fight them one by one.
But no
Yeah, I mean,
other
fight 'em
no
one by
other
one.
mythic path makes you fight them at all, like in any capacity, really.
No, but I also fought them in my first playthrough as well.
Nah, I don't do that. I just buy the slaves.
They had so
Oh.
many good things. You murder them all, and then you get all their good shit.
What an
Well,
asshole!
not all of their stuff, but
Well, I set them free. I have so much money that I
Sure you
just buy
do.
them
Sure you
instead.
do.
yeah.
I will.
But see, if you buy the slaves and then you kill the vendor, you get your money back.
Yeah, you can also get some pretty
Exactly.
damn nice items from them. Too.
I Pondor, I figured out why she didn't have a deity at the beginning. I noticed
Oh,
that
yeah?
her alignment here is chaotic evil, so it's already revealed that she doesn't actually talk or believe in spirits. So the green
Yeah.
faith is no longer a deity. Because when she starts out, she's true neutral, worships the green faith because she talks to spirits. But actually, it's all bogey.
Gotcha.
That's why. I was racking my brain with that. I was like, where did
All
her
right, so
green
last
faith
stand,
go?
we're good.
Last Stand, good. Approved.
15th level, Vital Strike.
Vital Strike, hooray! That's
Why,
what I was hoping
though?
they'd pick
Hey,
because it's amazing and awesome.
hey,
Why?
if we're getting the other things for it, I'm cool with it, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
But-
gonna waste our last 3 feats on Vital Strike instead of just wasting one of the last 3, then that's definitely better.
Yeah.
But why do we not have improved critical?
Yeah.
Gustav
we
in my
have
chat
critical
does mention that
focus.
we get keen a lot in this game, but why not improve critical?
I think it's because they gave her a weapon that already has a bigger crit range than other weapons.
And
So they're not going to expand it.
they should.
Yeah, I agree. They
That
should.
is objectively better.
Yeah, but that's not what they do, is it, Pondor?
Well, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll only take 2 ranks of Vital Strike, and then they'll take the improved critical.
At 20th
Well,
level,
we have seen them take extra feats in the mythic feats. So maybe one of the mythic feats will be improved critical.
There you go. There's hope. There's
That is
hope.
also there
Mythic-
are possibilities.
Mythic
All right,
level 6.
I'll just point out I hate Vital Strike here. I hate it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that.
I'm not a fan.
Even if, regardless of what they take after it, I'm not a fan.
Okay, so here is weapon specialization mythic.
All right, Rapier.
So at this point, this is mythic 6.
I mean,
this is a +3 to damage.
It's okay, but it's not worthless, but it's not good either.
Yeah, I would say for sure that improved critical would be better. But that's just me.
Yeah, taking improved critical here would be better. Taking any one of several mythic abilities, would be better.
Vital
Not
Strike mythic would be
sure.
better if we're going down Vital Strike.
Piranha Strike mythic would be better, considering that we took Piranha Strike. But yeah, there's a lot of choices that would be better
Well,
here.
would Piranha Strike mythic be better or not?
Yeah, it doubles the amount of damage you get from Piranha Strike. Or actually, does it?
No, it's only by +3 instead of +2, so it's only a +1 to damage. So if we're only getting up to 15, that means that we would have 1, 2, 3. We would have a +2, 4 times? So that's +8
Yes.
versus
Well, that's-
+12. So that's only a +4 versus Vital Strike or Weapon Specialization Mythic, which is a +5 once we're maxed out.
A +5?
Because Weapon Specialization Mythic would be, it's half your mythic.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if we're comparing
is.
max to max, Weapon Specialization Mythic does actually do more damage than Piranha Strike Mythic.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I guess you're,
You guys are doing
I guess
math.
you're right there. So weapon specialization mythic, I guess, is better than Piranha Strike.
But it's
Still
not better
several
than Vital
others
Strike.
that
Mythic.
are better.
They're doing math, guys.
It's not better than Vital Strike Mythic. It's not better than
Okay. So
a bunch of extra, like fucking
definitely
improved
not
critical.
liking it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I like it better than Piranha Strike Mythic, but I'm just mad that she doesn't have improved critical at this point. I'm just grumpy.
At 16th level, she gets Hampering Hex.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
Oh man. Wait,
Look
okay.
At his face. Look at his face.
So the greater weapon focus is because of the Battle Master. So
Yes.
Yeah.
that is that.
Hampering
But why
Hex.
this though? But why this though?
I mean, why? We've been asking it for the past 4 hexes. Why anything at this point?
Good point.
Now,
Yeah,
this
good
does
point.
guarantee at least one round of -2 to AC.
That's
But
true.
-2 to AC at this point is.
Well, it's actually a -4. At 8th level, it becomes -4.
Oh, okay. So, okay, that's actually not terrible. Because this does help everybody in the party
That's true.
hit.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's not terrible. I don't think it's.
But
It's
as good
not
as
what's
some
the
of
what are the
fine.
will
It's not
saves
terrible.
for this? Is it like the class level plus 10 or something? Plus your caster stat modifier?
That's a good question. Does
Because it
tell
just
us?
says a will save. I can never
Uh,
remember what the will save, like what the save DCs are for these class abilities.
I feel like it should be 10 plus whatever your, no, probably like plus half your class levels is what I feel like it should be.
Yeah, I
Plus
don't know.
your
If that's
caster
actually right or not.
mod, right? So it would
don't know,
basically
we
be
need to
at
go out and
max
use
level.
it.
It would be 20 plus your will
I don't-
mod for her.
I never really used the offensive hexes here, so I've never really had to look at it or
Yeah.
really pay it much mind.
Fair enough.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is. Come on, Igor or Kristen or somebody out there that obviously uses
Someone,
these things. Let us know what the calculation is to determine or to save against the hexes here.
give us the answers.
Yes, we need you
So-
to give us the answers. That's why you're here.
Regardless of whether or not they save, it's a -4 to the AC, which
Yeah.
isn't bad. That's not bad.
If you have a -4
Um,
to the AC for 1 round and everyone nails a hit on him, you can kill a lot of things in that 1 round. If everyone
Well,
hits.
you can kill one thing, right?
Okay, here it is. DC is equal to 10 plus half the shaman's level plus the shaman's wisdom. So it was what we were thinking. It is a standard action. Okay. I wanted to check that as well.
So the DC would be 21.
All right.
With,
Well.
well, I mean, your wisdom would be a lot higher, but
Right, yeah, because you would have something to boost
Yeah.
it at this point. Some kind of headband.
I mean, I feel like at lower difficulties probably pretty good to maybe even really good, but at higher difficulties I feel like mostly garbage, or maybe not quite garbage, but definitely less than.
yeah.
Right.
It's hot garbage, and the previous ones were like hot, sweaty garbage.
So
Yeah,
this
just-
one,
there you
so
go.
we
I
got to
like that.
figure
I like
this
that.
increases your chances to hit unless you are on one of the extreme ends where you either need a crit or a fumble to either hit or miss. This is an increase to your chance to hit by 20% for 1 round for everybody. So just putting that out there, that is what this basically is. It's a 20% increase to hit. Or to confirm a crit if you crit. At the cost of her attack for that round. Right? Because this isn't standard action. Does it say that it can only be used once?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
24
can only be used
hours.
once.
But if everyone
Don't
gets a
fucking
hit because
everything
of
into
it,
that round.
you only need the 1 round to kill it.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Depending on what it
depending
is.
on what it is, depending on how much AC it has.
Just crit.
Yes, crit.
Yeah, we'll just crit with our improved critical feats that we definitely have.
Oh wait!
That's not a
Oh
problem.
wait! Oh wait!
All right, Mythic level 7. We get
Oh wait!
greater.
Before we go, I want
What?
to check.
What?
Chant is a move action. I forgot to check that before. I said that
yeah, yeah.
I wanted to check that. It is a move action.
Mythic level 7, we get greater abundant casting.
Okay.
That's why chant. Okay, that confirms my like chant and battle meditation together would be great because with battle meditation you can't move, and then with chant it takes your move action, so you wouldn't be able to move anyway. So you can do both of those things at the same time. That'd be really cool if you had the right hexes. Greater abundant casting, sure. I mean, you might as well top it off.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry, I missed the end of that.
Greater abundant casting is okay.
I mean, we get.
She has access to 7 and 8. She doesn't have access to level 9 spells at this point.
I mean, I think greater abundant casting is a really good, solid choice here. I do wish on our previous, or in 2 of our last 3 previous mythic ranks, that we'd gone ahead and taken the enduring spells, and yeah. And then I think that would make greater abundant casting even better here. But
Yeah.
Probably.
I
I
would
just
agree.
I just realized I'm dropping a ton of frames. But why though?
Wonder if I am too. My frames dropping. Well, I haven't heard anybody complain about things freezing up. Like we
Okay,
heard the
apparently
last
I'm not
couple of
anymore.
times.
But apparently there for a minute I was dropping some frames. Oh.
All
Mm.
right.
I'm good on dropped frames. So.
Alright.
All right, so we're done.
Level
with
17,
that.
improved critical.
Hey, we got there.
There it is.
Vital strike.
Yep.
It's just a wasted feat, probably. Like, we'll just throw this in there. It's fine.
I'll bet it's 2 wasted feats.
I hope not.
Who wants to make
I
bets?
really hope not. Now, here's the question. What would we rather her take other than
Other than
improved vital strike?
What would I prefer?
For people who might not know why, because of improved critical for this character, Vital Strike becomes essentially useless. Because Vital Strike gives you a single attack during the round at your highest base attack bonus, which for her isn't high because she's not a full BAB fighter. But also improved critical makes her crit with a rapier be 15 to 20. That's the crit range. So the more attacks you have to be able to hit that range, the better off you're going to be. And so by limiting your attacks with Vital Strike, you're missing out on potentially critting more times in a single round. And that's why it's bad. I had to explain it to peeps in case people didn't know. I don't think people usually mess around with Vital Strike too much, to be honest.
If you know what you're doing, and you build for it entirely, Vital Strike can be incredibly strong.
You really have to build for it, though.
Yes, you have to build for it specifically.
Okay, so
what would
instead of
she-
improved vital strike, I'd much rather have something like combat reflexes,
Mounted
or
combat. What about
outflank,
that one?
Shake it off.
Brew potions.
Probably not mounted combat.
What are you
Brew
talking
potions
about?
is
Give her
pretty
the
good.
dinosaur. Give her the dinosaur. Let her hop on its back, and then.
Bismuth is pretty weak, but I mean,
Bismuth
if you
is
want
the
to,
best.
sure, go
Shut
for
your
it.
mouth. I will not allow such heresy on my stream. Thank you very much.
What about
alright, well,
lunge?
that's-
Increase
Any
the
good
range
sucks.
of her melee
That's all.
attacks by 5 feet.
I was looking at that.
I've never
It
seen
does
this
drop
before.
her AC.
I've never seen lunge before either.
Yeah, that's not one that I've seen very often, and by often I mean ever.
It's cool though. Like,
Yeah, I kind of like that.
if you had a
Definitely like it
pole
more than
arm,
vital strike.
dude, if you had a pole arm, you could stand 15 feet back and poke people, and your AC
Yep.
wouldn't even matter. You're 15 feet back.
You know, until you get shot 13 times.
Nah.
Nah, arrows aren't real.
Not me. I think it'd be nice to
It
take
still doesn't
like.
have improved initiative. There we go. There it is. That's the dip. That's the one.
I
Improved
feel like
initiative
I would
instead
give her. I would be willing to give her a sickening critical.
Did they? Just a second. Did
Yep.
they add lunge with the enhanced edition or something? They must have, because there's
Yeah.
no prerequisite for this at
I've never
all,
seen
and
it
I've never
before in
seen
my
it
life.
before in any of the thousands of hours I've played the game.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
So they must have added it with enhanced edition, because I've pretty much only played the expansion since enhanced edition came out. Anyways, I just wanted to ask that or throw that out there. Like, wonder what else they may have added with.
I'm
All
pretty
of
sure
the
they
things.
added
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I would take.
Yeah, feels like they had to have, given that it has no prerequisite.
I would take sickening critical.
Sickening critical. So if we do sickening critical and like combat reflexes or improved initiative instead of the vital strikes.
Yeah. Yep. Also, I don't like that one of the options for improved critical and weapon focus is tentacle.
Why not?
I don't like
Tell me
that. I don't like
You
that
don't
one
want to be
bit.
accurate with your tentacles, unsung.
Who has the ability to use tentacles in this game?
Don't worry about it.
I'm scared.
It's the new mythic path, Eldritch
Yeah.
Horror.
Eldritch.
I-
That would be so fun. Oh my god.
I was gonna say, maybe you could get Darren's otherworldly friend in your party in the place of Darren with some correct secret choices.
That would
That
be
would be actually kind of cool.
That would be cool. I would happily take the
Hey.
other into my party.
Yeah, and then you'd take the tentacle option for improved critical.
Mass heal. We also get mass heal.
Yep, mass heal is
Another one of
very
my
nice.
favorite spells.
It is amazingly helpful.
Jake, Scyther, I am scared. You know, you said I should be scared, and I am.
It's the
You should
only AoE heal in the game that's worth a damn.
Yeah. Channel positive energy isn't bad.
If you build for it, yeah, that's true. If you build for it, it's
Hey!
not bad.
Dude, look at
I wouldn't
this!
call it great.
Hey.
Next mythic level!
We got it.
We got it!
We got one of the ones that you've been looking for. Enduring
yeah.
spells.
Yeah, this is so late though, but it's better late than
It
never.
is late.
with
It is
enduring
super late.
spells. I still would have rather had it earlier, but hey, better late than never with it. That's cool. Also, I'd like to point out that Moron here said that lunch was actually added in a more recent patch, well after the enhanced edition release.
Oh,
So apparently
okay.
they're adding. Maybe we'll see even more
that's cool.
Yeah.
feats patched in here from the tabletop.
I'm down with that. I'm okay with this.
Enduring
Okay,
so-
spells.
enduring
second
spells.
spirit
Like, I
shit.
was about to say, there's not really a whole lot to say. Yes.
Great.
It's
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, definitely good for a caster that has buffs.
And then do we do...
And following up on that, we get greater enduring spells at Mythic 9.
Perfect.
So we just fucking fill that out.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, done.
Boom.
All right, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Level 17? Ah, yes, Slumber.
Level 18, sir. Good
18,
sir.
sorry.
I require you to
Sorry.
use the
Yeah.
right number.
It says
Thank
the
you very much.
17 when I click on it. It
I know.
confuses me.
Yeah, it's happened to me too. I just haven't said it
You
out
guys,
loud.
Slumber is so good. So good,
Yeah,
right?
it's one of the best end game abilities that you can get.
Slumber's pretty good, but at this point, I would definitely pass on it.
And they'd be asleep for 18 rounds, though.
Yeah, they'd be asleep for
Yeah.
18 rounds.
If
So
they
you can
fail
just
that
stand
will
there
save,
and watch them
that
sleep
will
for
save that-
18 rounds.
Most demons probably aren't gonna fail. Their saves, demon saves are pretty fucking busted. Except for reflex saves on the big boys.
Yeah, no.
Most of them are pretty
reflex
good, which is
saves
why
are
I-
not the best. That's why, like, on the big guys, I just chains of light all the time. Chains of light, chains of light, chains of light. It's great.
And then level 19.
Combat reflexes.
We got there.
Oh,
It was one of the ones that y'all had
Yeah.
mentioned in the past. It's like,
Definitely
hey,
better. Yeah. Don't.
I mean,
so
so
why
yeah,
Vital
sure.
Strike though? So
so
why Vital Strike though?
for her feats, there's a couple that could have been better, but really only 1, 2, 3 were probably like truly 100% wasteful, which is like toughness, combat casting, and vital strike.
All of those are bad.
I don't know. I feel like
bad.
I feel like she's the worst build character that we've seen so far between her wasted hexes and her wasted feats. We've only seen
I'd
3.
say
Probably.
I
Yeah,
feel
her
like she's
hexes are
definitely
real
built-
bad.
I would say the wasted hexes are pretty bad, but also if we're comparing it to Seela, though, my issue is that Seela's like mercies were fine because all of the mercies are pretty much useful in some way compared to like all of the hexes. But she still had some of the shittiest mercies in my opinion.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the mercies for a paladin are not nearly as consequential as the hexes and feats are for a
Agreed. Agreed. There's
shaman.
a lot more ways to get rid of
You know,
the things that the
you
mercies
could
get rid of.
completely take the mercy away from the shaman, and it would change very little how people play it. Or not from the shaman, the paladin, and it would change very little how people play it. It would remove very little of the power. Like, it'd still be overpowered.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. I think Camellia is
Scyther,
definitely
we
the worst
are
of the 3
kind
we've
of
seen so
we're at
far.
like the tail end of it. So
Agreed.
We can't. We're getting a bit of it, but we're not taking the brunt of it.
We're not
like the
done yet,
Midwest
though.
Is.
Yeah, who's next?
We're not done yet. No, we're not done with Camellia now yet.
Mythic rank
Oh yeah,
10.
Mythic rank 10, yeah.
Toughness
It
mythic.
gets even better. Mythic toughness. Oh
Well,
boy,
if you
guys.
have to take toughness, at least you're being consistent and taking mythic.
So
toughness.
I will say, besides the order of some of these mythic abilities, I would say besides this last one, all of the mythic abilities are perfectly fine in my book. Like all the ones that she took are good.
Yeah, I would say there's somewhere between okay and extremely good. All the other ones she took, toughness
Yeah.
is terrible.
I would like to have seen maybe improved critical mythic instead of toughness.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
definitely some better choices to be made here. Toughness is definitely the worst of her mythic choices. I don't think there's any way to
Yeah.
argue.
No, they're
Don't worry, Scyther. We're
excuse
going
me.
shopping tomorrow.
Sorcerer's
We're gonna
Reflex.
stock up on shit, for our Christmas food and everything.
What
So
about it?
we're gonna be Sam's
worse
Club.
than toughness mythic.
No, I said toughness is the worst of her mythic choices. Like all the mythic abilities and feats that she has, the worst of the ones they picked for her is definitely.
Yes.
Oh. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Agreed.
Not of the options available, but of the
Yeah,
options
not-
that
yeah.
they gave her. Gotcha, understood. Yes, this one is easily the worst.
All right,
The rest of them are okay.
Camellia.
And it
or
only
better.
affects like 2 battles, so
And then one more choice.
Draconic Resilience, which at this point,
Yay!
at this point, if you're getting paralyzed, that's on you. At 20th level, if you're getting paralyzed, that's just because you suck. Like you have plenty of defenses to stop that from happening. You don't need to be immune to it. We have buffs. Shouldn't be getting paralyzed at 20th
This is
level.
level 4 spell. It's pretty good. It's called Freedom of Movement.
yeah. That there is.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
for a number of rounds. It's not even like a permanent immunity.
Is it really? Oh yeah, number of rounds equal to the. Ugh.
I've also
All
not.
right.
I've also not once been put to magical sleep in this game.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. It's like I don't know what sleep abilities the enemies have. I don't remember a single fucking one.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say it happened. I swear it happened. I just can't name it or think of it or back that up in any way at all.
It has to have happened.
Yeah.
So I will say, if it weren't for the hexes, I think this would be like one of the ones to beat in terms of our auto builds because there isn't a lot that's like just completely counterintuitive or god awful compared to some things that Pondor and I
Trash.
know about. But
Yeah.
because of the hexes, it's mid.
Hexes, toughness, vital
Mid?
strike out of
It's
nowhere,
terrible.
combat casting.
Really?
I don't.
You're gonna give this a mid?
I think
instead
you're
of a
over.
terrible?
I think you're kind of like over. Compared to how I play, like I don't really use. I sometimes forget about hexes. Like her spells are better than her hexes anyway.
All right. Well, okay. All right, I'll
Okay,
concede
so
mid
on
or
lower difficulties, the
kind
hexes
of,
are much less
at-
important.
At
than
higher
on the higher
difficulties,
difficulties.
it's definitely garbage. If you're playing like Last Islanti or Hard or Unfair or something like that, I think it's garbage. For a shaman.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see the hexes playing a much bigger role the higher the difficulty you go to.
I've also never played her as a support character. I do self buffs only, and then just make her a beast that crashes through everything, and that's it.
Yeah, I mostly just make her. No, I have her buff because the buffs are so important. But I mean, if you're going to do that and your hexes don't even matter, then you can do that with like any other character. Just do it with them instead of her.
I always play support characters too, so I guess that's like part of it. Like, I like playing the big micromanaged character who's constantly doing things.
And then just let the rest of the party just run off.
Yep.
So yeah. Biggest issue, her hexes easily. Like,
Yeah.
the only one that she gets past level 4 that I would say is even halfway okay is hampering. Because that -4 to armor class can actually make a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
But every one of the other ones is... Slumber is good early. Much less good late.
Yes.
Like, you really don't want Slumber late game. It's not good.
No.
You want it early game where you can, pick off a couple of enemies from the fight so that you don't have to deal with quite as much. Everybody's saves are a lot lower. The save DC versus the saves available is going to be way higher. It's not good late game. And then the rest of them are all just... She either already has it in another way via a spell or something else, or it just doesn't fucking do anything. The hexes are not good in this one, guys.
Yeah. Pretty Terabad.
Feats,
All right,
she has 3 very, very wasted feats: Toughness, Combat Casting, and Vital Strike. And and then she doubles down on Toughness Mythic, which is the worst one of those to double down on. I would have preferred that she doubled down on Vital Strike Mythic, if any of them, honestly.
But even with the hexes being bad, I think if you're doing like an auto build run as a new player, she's completely viable in...
Oh yeah, she's
like if you're playing on
definitely-
normal difficulty, like this build is fine.
Yeah. I mean, every build is fine at that point.
No,
It's the end of the point.
there are some auto builds I think that are just not going to be fine, even on lower difficulties, unless you're playing like story mode. I feel like they're coming.
I really hope that we misunderstood Nenio's build somehow.
Nenio, well, I don't know what her auto build is. I was about to be like,
Her
Nenio's
auto
fucking
build
awesome.
is
What are you
fucking
talking
weird.
about? But I haven't looked at her auto build. So
Her auto build is fucking weird. It's like,
I mean,
hey,
she's
let's
amazing, but maybe her auto build.
let's just
is not,
focus all of our feats on spell focus and greater spell focus on like 8 different schools.
Just be glad they didn't just give her all the tails.
Yeah, the tails.
Why?
Are
The
so
tails
bad.
are fun.
No, the tails are fucking
They're so
horrible.
bad.
I hate the
They're
tails.
good. I'm not saying
Every
they're
one
good.
of them is the most terrible thing.
Y'all are haters.
Yes, I
Look,
hate the
man, I
tails.
love
And I
Naruto, but
readily
I
admit
don't want a
that.
9-tailed fox in my Pathfinder game.
That's because you are a hater.
There's no shinobi here. Alright. She's a wizard.
Are we gonna try to somehow blow through another one in the next 45 minutes, or are we kind
Uh,
of looking at being done?
I doubt that.
I mean, last time we did get through Greybore much quicker, but I still think
could
it
go
took
through
more than
Arueshalaes.
45 minutes.
We had about an hour last time.
Yeah.
We could try Arueshalaes. Hers is, if I remember correctly, hers is not bad. We can burn through, because I think she starts at level 8, so we can burn through the first 8 levels really quick.
All right. I mean, if you want to try that, if y'all want to, then I'm good with that. If y'all want to call it here, then I'm good either way. What do
I
you
just
think,
have
Vincent?
like I have a hard cutoff today at 10, so if we think we can do it. But,
So that's in 45 minutes.
yeah.
That would be pretty
And I'm
close.
sure we could do it if we didn't talk a lot, and none of us likes to talk a lot, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we all hate talking.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Where are you? There you are.
Just
Yeah,
go
so
through
she
each
starts at level-
ability, and then just everyone does yay or nay, and then we move on.
Okay, so I'm looking at her
We could
first.
probably finish 2 more
Her,
then if we're
her
gonna do it that
feats
way.
up through level 9, and they're all good.
Yeah, she's a freaking beast. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Yeah, like we can get through level 9 and be like, oh, this is all very good. This is a very good start to an archer build. And then we're halfway through the build already.
Sure.
So if we're gonna do that, I'll just start going through them. So point blank shot, precise shot, rapid shot, deadly aim, many shot, clustered shots, and improved critical longbow.
It's the nice thing about an archer. You can't screw it up if you just take the feats that are for archers.
So I'm saying, it's like, oh, I look here and I see a lot of bows and arrows. This is good.
Pretty much. So yeah, those are all great, awesome, wonderful. She even has favored enemies as demons, which
All
it
of them.
definitely should be.
All
so
of
they
the
didn't screw up
demons.
the favored
No.
enemies.
It's demons of
Seems pretty amazing.
It's demons
Well,
of
wait,
magic,
demons of
which is a
magic?
specific kind of demon. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
Dretch, Oleodro, and Succubus. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And then
But-
she's also got favorite enemy humans for all those pesky cultists.
I think that's more because
Oh, yeah.
whenever she was at first a demon, she killed humans.
Yeah,
but,
but it's still good.
Yeah, it's effective for that. Yes,
I pretty
it's
much
effective
always
for that.
take favorite enemy human. Just too many people to kill.
I'd
Yep.
never take that because people are so easy to kill.
This
but-
is both of these are
But-
valid
yeah.
viewpoints.
All right.
All right.
So, let's go.
Oh, wait, skills. Let's just go through
Skills.
what her skills are. All of them.
Mobility,
Not quite, but most of them.
Trickery,
Mobility, trickery, stealth,
stealth.
arcana, perception, and persuasion. And she's good at them all.
yeah. I mean, I don't.
Because,
there's nothing here I would give her instead. She doesn't need to use magic device, so.
Well, I was just about to say I would give her use magic device instead, but I am of the mind that everybody should have use magic device if it's at all feasible, just because of how incredibly helpful it is and how many times it saved my ass to have somebody be able to use a scroll at the opportune time.
I don't.
And she has so many like skills anyways that it's like just give her one that will be good in combat.
I never. Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I can see that for sure. Like I feel like that's a resourceful way to look at that. I never give anyone use magic device, and I only have people use wands and scrolls that they could normally use spells for, just to avoid giving them spell slots.
Well,
Another
way
thing
to
that
do
we
it, I
should
guess.
talk about with her is her stats. Her
Oh,
ability
yeah.
scores are fucking crazy. She
Yeah,
has
she-
2 that are over 20 and an 18, all by default. These are without equipment on. 13 strength, 22 dex, 16 con, 18 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 21 charisma.
Yeah, she gets
This
a much
lady is
higher.
fucking stacked.
I will
with
say,
her ability scores.
according to her level up stuff, she's increasing charisma every time for the level 4 level points. She has 2 points into charisma additional.
That is
Yeah.
unfortunate, but that I guess that's it. That's just unfortunate.
Definitely
There's nothing
unfortunate.
much else to say about that.
Sorry, guys. Hate to burst the bubble here.
I mean, they had to make her suboptimal somehow.
I still think she's an amazing archer, probably the best one in the game. Although I know
Oh.
LAN fans are going to argue with me, but she's definitely my
Yeah,
favorite.
Lan has the advantage of only needing one stat to focus on. Basically, he just has to worry about wisdom, and that's it. He gets AC from it. He gets attack bonus from it. But yeah.
Okay, so level 10.
Mythics. Got to catch up on our mythics.
Oh yeah, good point.
Always a chance.
Always a chance.
Yeah, the best mythic ability. Oh my god, it's back. I'm so happy.
How are you gonna do that to me, Arueshalae, after just sticking up for you over land? What the hell?
What?
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sure Lan also has it.
So that is incredibly terrible. Should not be taking always a chance. Just pick absolutely anything else, preferably one of the ones with the bow or an arrow on it, and you're good.
To be clear, what this feat does, it does not, or what this ability does, it does not do what the Trickster one does, where it turns a nat 1 into a nat 20. Literally means that if your bonus is high enough that a nat 1 roll will hit the enemy, you will hit the enemy. So if the enemy has an AC of 16 and you have a plus 15, a nat 1 will still allow you to hit, regardless of the fumble.
So, if you're
So it's trash.
no. Actually, if you're playing on normal difficulty because you're just starting and you get that, and you're actually like a fast learner and you add up all your buffs and you're like, oh look, I can hit no matter what I roll except for one because I've buffed so well. Like on low difficulties, you could actually with this never miss no matter what. If you're actually good at stacking your buffs. I'm still gonna say it's the very worst thing because who cares if you have a 5% chance to miss anyways? If you have that, then you're going to win. But just figured I'd throw that out there. It's definitely the worst one though.
Except for maybe dimensional retribution on a ranged person.
The next mythic level for mythic level 2 is deadly aim mythic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have deadly aim. Then I like this. It's good.
It's alright. I think I would rather have rapid shot mythic.
Yes.
At first.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true. Rapid shot is definitely better. Taking away a -2 is definitely better than adding some more damage.
Yeah, it just removes the penalty for rapid shot, but this is fine. This is fine.
Yeah.
The next one is exposed vulnerabilities.
I'm also okay with this.
I am not okay with this, but
she's going to hit a lot.
Yeah.
She has full BAB, so she has a lot of attacks. She's going to hit a lot because of her massive stats.
Yep.
And then that's additional 1d6. Like, would I take it this early? No. Is it bad? No.
No.
Would I prefer, clustered? Was it cleaving shot?
Yes.
Cleaving shot is way better.
So good.
The fact that
that's what I hear. I don't know. I don't use cleaving shot. There's so many others that are just better.
When you watch someone take a shot and kill 4 demons at once, it'll make you want cleaving shot.
I will agree that it's way cooler, but there are some points where you can't kill multiple enemies no matter like you're not
even if you can't kill them.
One shot.
Even if you can't kill them, doing AoE damage on a range shot
is good.
Is insane. And like I said, she's going to be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So she is very likely to get the killing blow, meaning she's likely to trigger this cleaving shot.
True.
Which is just and the damage doesn't require another AC roll. Like it's just guaranteed damage on everybody.
I guess I just prefer like single target damage over area effect damage because like enemy single target damage allows you to deal with the more powerful enemies that are more of a problem, whereas AoE damage might make things a little more convenient, but generally speaking like AoE damage isn't going to matter much against enemies unless they're weaker enemies. Like that's just how I kind of value it.
I mean,
that's why there's the discrepancy.
If she were Lan, I would suggest ranging shots, but I don't think she needs it because
I would definitely give her ranging shots.
She's less likely to miss anyway already by being a succubus.
All right, I'll give you that. We're assuming normal difficulty, so ranging shots on normal difficulty is probably garbage. So
I will say this, Pondor.
There are some
exposed
some
vulnerability.
Parts where it would be useful, but
exposed vulnerability on normal difficulty probably is freaking
So I have the question: is exposed vulnerability actually good if we have clustered shots? Because then you only shoot one time, don't you?
What?
Isn't cluster shots where they all just go at once?
Clustered shots. No, clustered shots means that you add up all the damage you do in one round before you apply DR. It doesn't mean that it's all one shot.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're still doing multiple instances of damage. It's just,
You're just-
all counted once.
Yeah, you're just hitting the exact same spot every time, so you only had to pierce the armor
Okay.
the first time.
Very confusing.
And then you
Okay.
forget that spot the next round, and you have to shoot a second spot perfectly.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Level 10. We've got combat, point blank master, archery, which
What are the other options? Dodge, Great Fortitude, Improved Precise Shot, Iron Will, Lightning Reflexes, Toughness, Improved Critical, which we already have. I'm okay with her taking Point Blank Mastery there.
yeah, I would too. I like moving her around anyway.
So you'd rather have critical mastery?
Wait, what?
Sorry, I just caught the end of what you said there.
Of all the choices that we have for the archery bonus feat, Point Blank Master I think is the best choice out of all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe Improved Precise Shot?
I don't know a lot of concealment besides demons being invisible. Like, I don't know, like, that there's a lot that have partial concealment.
They don't a bunch of them have like blur effects? Or displacement effects?
Why do they have improved
Displacement,
critical
I think,
thumbs down?
is
because she
pretty
already has it,
common,
right?
but I wouldn't say
Yeah.
blur is that common. Displacement's pretty common, though. But
Is
I
it
feel like
I couldn't remember which one it was.
I feel
know
like
that
the
I've missed
most
because of
common thing is
concealment.
mirror image.
Well, yeah. But I've missed because of concealment many times, and I just wasn't sure if it was a blur or a displacement effect.
Yeah, improved precise
If
shot
it's
would be
blur,
good.
then improved precise shot is really good. If it's displacement,
But
then obviously less.
The reality is that we've got 2 more of these combat style feats, and those are the only 2 really worth taking in the list at all anyway.
Isn't there a greater something? No.
Eh.
Oh no, that's literally it.
Nope,
Okay.
that's it. There's not a lot.
There's not much else for us to
Yeah.
take unless we want to take like fucking.
All right, so
Fortitude,
point
which...
blank master, yeah, probably a good choice there.
Favored enemy undead. I'm down.
Don't like it. I mean,
I
it's
don't
not
like it.
terrible, but I don't like it.
There's I don't think that there are enough undead in the game to warrant this.
I agree, but there are enough that I think that it's not terrible. But
Yeah.
there are definitely other much better choices.
The other demons,
Yeah, exactly.
like all of the demons, just take all of them.
Yeah.
You definitely should take all of the. Well,
She's gonna
actually,
get
no.
2 more enemies. So if you did the other 2 demons, what would you do for the 3rd one instead of undead? Because I don't think there's anything else worth taking besides, or maybe outsiders. But that doesn't count for demons because demons is its own thing, isn't it?
Right. Maybe.
I mean, I would just.
Are
I
they
would just
new ones,
stack
or
them.
could she-
Yeah. I would say I would just stack the ones that are more important.
Wait,
wouldn't
no,
take the new
because
ones.
this one,
You have
demons
to-
of magic and humans are crossed out, so you have to choose.
Yeah,
a new one.
you still have to choose a new one each time.
Oh, you have the one where you have to choose a new one, and then you also have the one where you
Yes.
can choose the old one.
Yes,
Yeah.
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 Okay, so I guess if we have 2 others, where are we at right now? We basically just picked her up, so we're either in Dresden if you get her early,
No,
or we are in Green Gates
Yeah.
if we pick her up normally. So
I
what do
think
we have
that
left
sounds
at
right.
this point? What do we have left before we go into the Abyss? Because once we get into the Abyss, it's all demons from there for a very long time, right?
I think Lord Spire has an answer for you.
I was going to say that I agree with Unsung. I think Undead's the best. Actually, if you go back and look at my Arueshalae build video, I think that was the last one that I picked was Undead, especially because at the very end at level 20, whenever you're going to Threshold, the giant worm guy that's in there is an undead, so it helps against
really?
him. And he can actually, he's undead. He can actually
did not
eat
know
your
that.
character you know, and kind of
Okay.
give you a wipe there by doing that. And there's also a bunch of random encounters, like all your random encounters on the way to there, like close to it or whatever, or at least a lot of them are undead as well.
I would
So
say
I think undead's a solid choice. Although I wouldn't take
Okay.
it till 20. I wouldn't take it here, but
I
think
I
at
think there
20 it would
are
be good.
enough undead encounters in Act 3 before you go to the Abyss that are undead. Because if you explore everywhere you can explore, you can do like pretty much all of the undead encounters on the map.
Is the
Are
Blackwater
any of them difficult though?
is the Blackwater undead?
No, none of them are difficult, but your demon encounters are difficult. So I would rather have the demons.
I would say the abandoned house thing where they all have the
You mean the one where you just kind of AoE and they all die, or you grease and they all fall down? Like, there's ways to deal with that. Like, you don't just have to.
but there's
fight 'em.
ways to deal with
Oh.
everything. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. There you go. You all have heard the arguments. You decide.
Yeah. It's basically ordering at this point. We're just arguing over ordering at this point. Like undead would be the last one that we would pick besides the other two demons.
Well,
Um,
no, that's okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right? Isn't that what we're saying? Is that we
Well,
we
we're
would take the other
arguing
two
over
demons
if it-
and undead? And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
which
it's
order we
just
take
which
them in?
order. Okay. All right. I misunderstood what you were saying. Yeah. Okay. So
So this
good
is
with
fine.
that there.
And then boosting up more demons of magic for
I don't like that because they're the easiest ones to kill. I'd much rather have the strength and or the slaughter demons, but okay.
but you have to choose one of the 3 that you already
That
have
you've already
to boost.
chosen, which
Yeah.
is why I would have rather have had the strength of the slaughter demons right here instead of the undead, but oh well.
what are the other ones? Like which ones exactly are they? Babaus, Cambion, and Incubus
I would say
for
if you
slaughter.
weren't doing
Baylor,
undead,
Nalfeshni, and Vivakia
if you
for
weren't doing
strength.
undead, I think
Also
slaughter would be
Baylor,
the ones
yeah.
worth taking because
Yeah,
I think
those
they're-
are the ones that you're gonna run into the most at this point,
Yeah.
I think.
like
You don't start running into Baylors, Nalfeshnis, and Vivakias until like you'll run into a couple of them,
but not a
but
lot.
you don't start running into them a bunch until later.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think demons of magic are probably the ones that are least useful to have this bonus against because they have the least health.
Yeah, I mean they're
And the
very
lowest
dangerous,
defenses.
but they're just so much easier to kill.
Yeah, they're glass cannons.
Yeah.
Like as long as you target them, they
Yeah.
tend to go down fairly easily.
And dredges are just glass.
Well, they're glass grosses.
They're just glass.
They're
Gross
glass
glasses.
grosses. They do the clouds and they make it all stinky and then you get sick and you can't do anything. Unless you have delay
poison. Or aura of
Get at
purity.
this level. She gets at this level delay poison communal. That's one of the spells that she now has. So,
All right. 11th level. We
Also,
get
fuck you
weapon
for saying aura of
focus.
purity there. I heard that. Get out of here with that
We
shit.
get weapon focus longbow for 11th level.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Is there anything that I would take over it? Is the question?
We already have so many ranged feats.
Well, yeah. Like I'm just thinking. No, it's a melee attack. I was like maybe lunge, lunge with your bow, but no, it's melee.
What about snapshot? If you have point blank master where you don't take attacks of opportunity, you can take snapshot and get in close, and then when people run by you, snap them.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. How often do you guys actually get attacks of opportunity? Because in my experience, the AI tends to just run to a person and then stand there and beat them to death until they are dead or their target is dead, and then they move on to the next one. I don't really see them running around too much to make attacks of opportunity against them.
Well, excepting through the use of seize the moment and outflank, I rarely get attacks of opportunity, which is why I use those so much because they give you an enormous, number of attacks of opportunity per turn if you build your party well. But yeah, I don't get very many attacks of opportunity.
When I had Wendu on throwing axes, I got snapshot attack of opportunities all the time.
Really?
No one ever attacked her. No one ever attacked her. They would just walk right by her and go for my other people.
I will say I haven't tried it, but I have been told that Land's snapshot build is like really strong, especially with an attack of opportunity party, and that you can get it to proc a lot. I haven't tried it. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
but, he
because
seems to be seconding that.
Land's like a really hardy like archer. Like being a monk, he has so many like defenses that like he can handle being closer to the enemies pretty easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, snapshot I would say is like a decent.
It's a choice,
alternative.
but weapon focus I
It's
feel like is
alternative.
consistently better.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
like snapshot.
And
that much. I never
especially
used
for a
it, but-
new player, weapon
Yeah.
focus is a lot better, a lot
Much
easier
better.
to use. Doesn't require as much, positioning,
Yep.
knowledge, or micromanagement.
Yeah. Keep
So
missing as
I'm
much.
okay with this.
All right, weapon focus is okay there.
Rapid
All
shot.
right, we doing
mythic.
another? Yeah.
And there we go.
rank.
Perfect.
There we go. All right,
Yep, there it is.
definitely what they should take there.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement.
100%.
Yep, just a +2 to every single attack that you ever do.
Level
More
12,
or less,
nothing.
basically.
Oh no! Wait,
Oh,
no, we're getting
we
bonuses
put a
to dex.
point in Dex.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
What?
Oh, what? Yeah, they're awesome. That's why. All these preconceived notions that y'all have, y'all gotta snap those, break those.
Well, they were true
not
when we were doing the videos before. Like
don't seem to be
we
any
went
longer.
through Camellia's build before,
I mean,
and she
they're-
did not swap from mobility.
They're throwing points in various skills. They're throwing them in different arrays of
Good.
freaking characteristics, ability points. So yeah, good. I agree.
Good.
Good.
I appreciate this. Yeah. Level 13, we get critical focus.
Don't like it, but okay.
I was about to say we all know Lore's opinion on this one.
Nope. Yeah.
Favorite terrain, underground. I would prefer.
Underground's okay. I mean, what do we have left? Abyss would definitely be better. Here.
Yeah, Abyss is usually my go-to.
Abyss is so Threshold is considered Abyss. Obviously, the entirety of Chapter 4 is the Abyss.
Yeah. That's basically why I said Abyss. That's why.
Is considered Desert.
But
Not
oh
urban,
yeah,
which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was building, when I was planning out the builds for the speed run, I went back through and I was checking all of the locations and their terrains, and I was very surprised. I thought that might be urban, but it is not. It is desert.
And this is the only favorite terrain we get.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
favorite
underground.
terrain, but, like huge, anyways. So it's like, all right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of caves and stuff like that where underground is useful in a lot of different places, but it's not useful in the most important places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer Abyss. Also, Threshold at the end is the Abyss.
Yep, it is Abyss.
Abyss.
Yep.
Level 14. Improved precise shot.
There you go. We got them
So
both.
there we go. We got all
At
of the
this
ones
point,
that are good.
the last feat they take, they could only do wrong by taking toughness.
Which is what they're gonna take. And honestly, I don't even think that that's the worst one.
I would prefer dodge.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I would prefer dodge. She doesn't need a bonus to her
for sure.
saves.
For sure.
what is
Like
worse?
they're all such small benefits for a
Yeah.
ranged character that I like. Her lightning reflexes, her all of her stats are so fucking good that the save ones are.
Her Iron Will is like half or less than half, or her willpower save is like less than half of her other saves. So she needs Iron
Okay.
Will. I would actually
So-
take that here over improved precise shot personally, but let them have what they're gonna have.
Being able to ignore concealment is fine. I'm alright with it.
Mythic level 5, we get cleaving. Cleaving
Yay! We got it.
shot. Hell yeah.
Explosions of blood.
Love it.
All right, maybe shot it is.
I like it.
So good in speedruns.
I sometimes
It's great.
forget
So
that I...
in the abyss. If you remember the Mephit fight in the abyss, It's just 3 shots. One into the left group, one into the right group, one into the center group, and they all explode, and it's just done. It's so good.
I always forget that, like, Lan has it sometimes when I'm using him, and I'll just see, like, multiple demons explode at once, and I'm like, how did that happen?
Yep.
I just forget.
Yep.
Yomogami, I hope you're watching this because you always tell me how good cleaving shot is, and everybody's agreeing with you.
He is correct.
So,
He's
take
good.
your
Whoever
take
that person
your
is, he
Yomogami.
and or she and or whatever pronouns, they are correct.
All right.
Hammer the Gap, not a fan.
Hammer the gap.
I hate it. 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 I hate it.
All right.
Although, Rapid
wonder if
Shot
that
does give her an extra attack,
Yeah.
so there is that, but that doesn't matter.
Let
Hammer the
me-
Gap is still bad.
I will say this.
Hammer the Gap
I
is
will say
garbage.
this. The auto builds don't like to do utility feats. Okay? And in terms of offensive
It's
feats,
entirely combat.
in
it-
terms of
it's-
combat
no,
feats,
sorry, it
there
isn't.
aren't very many left.
Snapshot.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Snapshot
the
improved
snapshot
and
right
greater
there.
snapshot. There are 3 feats in a chain that feed into one another.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're gonna make her.
Combat reflexes, since they're trying to apparently focus on getting attacks of opportunity, anyways.
Focus is a strong word. I think they just
well,
chose up.
They're trying to implement that into the build.
If they were focusing, they'd be taking snapshot.
I guess you could take like one of the criticals.
Yeah. That's probably what they're going to do. They're probably going to take like sickening critical or blinding critical or something like that. And then I don't know what they'll take for the last one.
Well,
Toughness.
if we're talking about combat feats only, like if we're trying to limit this to only combat feats, then maybe there aren't a whole lot that they could take, but there's so many non-combat feats that I feel like would definitely be so much better.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that they could take here, but
Yeah.
they
The benefit though is that the rest of what she already has is so good that Hammer the Gap isn't that big of a chink in her armor at all. Like,
no, and it's like
It's
it
just
can
a
do more
waste.
damage, but
Yeah. Well, she already has so much power. The only the worst thing that can happen to her is to be disabled. So should really, really, really be focusing on things that stop that, like your saving throw feats. Once you have a character with this much DPS, that's what I.
Yeah,
I would
maybe.
agree. Round her out.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
We get the Demons of Slaughter, so that's good.
I
It's a
don't-
bit late. We're at level 15 now.
I don't
But-
like that we put points into Demons of Magic again. I think when
Yeah.
you have like 5 favorite enemies, I don't put more than 2 points into any one favorite enemy. I spread it out. You spread the love.
I don't know.
I don't like
think
that,
I think
but
you would
okay.
want to. Okay, so here's another thing. Maybe you take Demons of Strength early, so you could put more points into them, because they're the ones that are like the most dangerous. Like,
They
they
are.
are the big boys.
They are.
They're the ones that you're going to want the most benefits against. So I could see taking Demons of Strength really early, and then just loading that the fuck up, so that you have the best chance of hitting them and doing as much damage as possible once you do start running into them.
I mean, I could see spreading it around as much as possible, like on your first playthrough, whenever you're not sure what you're going to be facing, but once you've played it through once or several times or whatever,
Here's a
like,
question: would a Relu
you
be
know,
considered a
focus
demon of
is-
magic?
Is better, I think.
What?
I don't think so. I mean, she's got the lowest spell progression possible, so I don't think so. But
Wait,
guess I
no,
could
no,
be
a
wrong.
Relu, not a Arueshalae. The
oh,
final boss.
yes,
Like,
yes.
would the final
I,
boss be considered a demon of magic? Because that would make this much better.
I think that she is, but I don't know. I've never
Wait,
had that much
but
difficulty
Arelu's
defeating
not
her.
hard
Like
to
I think
hit.
she's one of. Yeah, I was gonna say she's one of the easier bosses.
Doesn't
in
she
the
have like
game
a
to
50
defeat.
AC? Like, even on like lower difficulties? Like,
I've
isn't her
never
AC, like,
had problems
stupid
with
high?
her fight on core.
Yeah, like it's not a very difficult fight. That's why I don't worry about her at all.
Gotcha.
I've had more
Well, my
difficult
last
times fighting.
fight against her was without getting any experience, so that's like the most recent experience that I have with that fight. And
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah,
a
I'm not
long
sh-
time since I played the game before then. So
On core,
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
how
have
you did
harder
that.
time fighting Balors that don't even have names than I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
fighting Areelu.
fair. Yeah, and if you fucking take all the right choices, you don't even have to do the second half of the fight.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
true.
was just saying I wouldn't
You could just
prefer
talk no jutsu your way through that.
I wouldn't prefer another set of points into Demons of Magic. I would prefer to put those into the new Demons of Slaughter if we're gonna take Demons of Slaughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I,
th-
still think we should have Demons of Strength already, but yeah. Okay. Sure.
That I
Given what we
agree.
have.
I agree. I think the more that I think about it, the more that I like having Demons of Strength early, so that you can build them up more.
Here, here. All right. Next level, or mythic rank, I guess.
Yep. Point blank shot mythic.
Whoops, I just skipped through that one. Oh,
Gross.
point blank shot mythic. Yeah, that one's
It's a +1 to
not
attack
very
and damage.
good. Yeah,
That's all it is.
I don't. And it's only whenever you're within 30 feet, also, which sometimes you're not going to want to be, because it's
Right.
only whenever you have
Yeah.
point blank shot activated. So yeah, that one's not very good.
I would prefer improved critical mythic.
Yeah.
Yeah, improved critical mythic.
But
would
even
be really
still,
good.
like improved critical mythic, she's using longbows. That's still even with improved critical, it's a 19.
But Pondor, you're
it's a
running out of
10%
you're
chance.
running out of feats. There's not that much left for her to take, to be honest.
I know.
That's good. I mean,
But-
they're still I don't know. I still like what is it? Damn it, ranging shots. And there's another one too. There's another archer feat down close to ranging shots. Like I said, I skipped through it, so I don't have it up in front of me. There's another archer feat down there that's good.
There's distracting shots, but
Yes, distracting shots is awesome. That's the one. There might
The
even be
bigger
another
they
one.
are as well.
The bigger they are, that's the other one. Which
Yeah.
I don't think is awesome, but especially like the last couple of acts, it is really, really helpful.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
think
of
it's-
very large
I think it's
creatures.
definitely better than point blank shot. That's for damn sure.
yeah. Yeah, I don't like point blank mythic at all.
It basically doubles the penalty for size.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
bigger they are.
Nothing for
Really
16th.
helpful the last few acts.
Nothing for 16th level.
Nope.
Mythic
Just
level.
wait. There is something.
Improved evasion.
Dex.
Sure.
Oh yeah, and we get the dex
Sure.
point.
I wanted to double check to see if we were putting more points into Dex or Charisma.
Awesome stuff.
Mythic level 7, we get ranging shots.
I'm okay with this.
I like.
Yeah,
I like.
I like ranging
shots.
shots a lot. It's really good, really helpful.
Especially, did they change it?
Did they? I don't know. I haven't looked at
So
it.
what I thought this used to do is every time you miss, it would give you a +1 stacking, and then once you hit, it would reset that stack back down to 0.
No,
No.
it never did that. It always
It never
it
did
gives
that?
you it gives you a +1 if you miss, and it gives you a -1 if you hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
way you get to whatever the sweet spot is, to where you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
at least like half your attacks.
Okay, so this is a lot better than I thought it was. This is a lot
Yeah.
better than I thought it was, because I thought it reset back to 0 every time you hit. I'm like, oh, that's kind of
No, it's
spend a long
really
time
good.
building yourself up, and then you hit once, and then you're back to ground 0.
Yeah.
You know. Okay,
All right, so
that's
ranging
a lot
shots
better.
definitely good. Mythic
Yeah,
rank's
I'm
definitely
okay with that.
Awesome.
Level 17.
Oh, this
Dodge.
is freaking awesome. You assholes.
Like, give us any of the criticals. Give us snapshot even. Like, give us anything that's not. Like, give us
Yeah.
a saving throw
Give us-
bonus. Don't
Yes,
give us
any of the
plus
saving
1
throw
to
bonuses.
AC.
Give us shake it
Yeah.
off. Give us outflank. Although I guess if you're not taking outflank with anybody else, then it doesn't help here either. But
Isn't
Yeah.
outflank for melee characters?
it'll still proc the attack of opportunity even from a ranged character. So like if a ranged character
You just won't
gets
get the
critical,
bonus to.
Yeah,
the
you don't
attack.
get the bonus.
Are
but
you
can
flanking?
still-
Are you flanking an enemy if you're not right next to it?
I don't know, but I got a whole video up on it where we tested it. It definitely works.
Yeah,
Like, they've
yeah,
changed it in,
that
like
that
the last
does.
4 or 5 weeks. Because
So
that's what I
as
thought at
long as the
first, too,
character
until-
is flanked, even if you are not one of the people flanking it, as long as the character is flanked, you still get bonuses.
Yep. It definitely works.
so, like,
So
That's why ranged characters can can sneak
tell,
attack.
tell you, man,
Uh,
outflank is
characters that
freaking
are
amazing
flanked. Well,
if you get it on everybody.
That's messed up because in tabletop flanking definitely doesn't work like that at all. You have to be
Oh, yeah.
you have to be flanking it, and it has to be like within your reach. And ranged characters don't flank the same way that like like, you can't. It's not. That's not how.
That-
it works.
Well, yeah, but there's also
that's what I
positioning
thought at
that's
first, too.
required
That's why I
in
went,
tabletop
like-
as well.
That's
So-
why I went like 7 or 8 months without using it on my ranged characters until I found out,
Yeah.
hey, what happens in the tabletop doesn't matter because Owlcat didn't really follow those rules all the time.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
do
it's
a lot.
cool because you can
Not-
exploit
not
that, but
one-to-one.
Most of the time. Most of the time.
So yeah,
dodge sucks.
dodge
Um,
probably one of
yeah,
the worst
that's
options that are like not absolute like it's like one of those ones where it's like, okay, it does kind of sort of help a little bit maybe, but it's still pretty trash. It's not like absolutely useless. Flawless attacks. So +1 to the second attack, +2 to the third, +3 to the fourth. Man. Again, it's giving the best bonus. Like it's, I don't know. I really don't think that this is a good mythic feat to get unless you are a dual wielding character. If you're a dual wielding character and you just have a shit ton of attacks, then I think that this would be fine. But with just a bow,
no.
I don't like this.
Neither do I.
Improved critical would be better. You know.
Yeah, I would definitely rather have improved critical.
Yeah.
I would actually rather take like an extra mythic ability and grab I don't know, maybe grab like 1 rank of abundant casting, since that covers 3/4 of your spells. You know, because she only gets.
Oh, that's true.
She only gets 4.
Yeah, that would be good.
Up to level 4 spells, so I feel like that would be a much better choice.
That would be a nice little pickup. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since a lot of her buffs don't last that long.
And one of her buffs is animal growth, which is a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is a level 4 one though, so you don't actually get
I don't know.
increased casts of that from abundant casting unless you take it twice.
Which I would not recommend.
No.
Yeah.
Let's not take an entire mythic ability for
wasteful.
Yeah, it would be a bit too much.
Mythic level 9 is the bigger they are.
We kind of talked about this last time.
All right.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, pretty good choice here. There's a lot of really large enemies at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. And then level 18. Archery, what'd we get? Hey, I fucking called it. I called it. It's toughness. They like their toughness.
Yeah, they like for us to.
Yeah,
die
should have
horribly,
taken Iron Will.
Yeah, out of the ones that are left, Iron Will I would say is definitely the best. It definitely boosts up her weakest aspect.
Unquestionably.
We should have taken Iron Will at we should have taken Iron Will and then been able to have had, like, instead of dodge, have Iron Will and greater Iron Will.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, that would have definitely been good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Level 19, staggering critical. Out of all of the criticals,
we finally got a critical feat.
Out of all of the criticals, we're doing the one that staggers and also requires a fortitude save. That's cool.
Yeah,
great.
I don't like anything that gives them the chance to save because they're gonna save against it.
Sickening would
especially
be
fort save.
Sickening would be my choice. Tiring would even be better than this.
Yeah, because tiring gives a penalty to.
This is like the worst.
Strength and con. The tiring gives a bonus.
Fatigue, I think, is. I thought it was strength and dex.
Is it strength and dex?
I don't know. I was looking for blinding critical, but does she not?
She doesn't qualify for it. You have to have critical focus.
She has that.
Didn't she get it?
I thought she got it. Oh, she
complaining
does.
about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get.
Oh,
critical.
it's a thumbs down arrow. My bad.
Yeah, I see it now.
But it's also a fortitude save.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I wanted to look at it to see what the save was, and
it's 10 plus your BAB. That's any of the critical feats are going to be 10 plus BAB.
But even out of staggering and blinding is still better. So like staggering is literally like the worst one in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, blind effects are so incredibly good.
Here's the thing, though.
Blind the enemies at the end.
Yeah,
staggering lets you kite forever
with anybody. What?
Staggering lets you kite forever because they can't move and attack in the same round.
I mean, blinding means they're just never going to hit whoever's tanking them, so you don't have to kite.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 if they roll a nat 20 to be able to hit you with their AC, like with your AC score.
Wait, why are you saying that they need a nat 20?
Well, I'm assuming that whoever's tanking them is going to have a high enough AC that they're not getting hit. That's why.
Okay.
I mean, I guess maybe not if you're a new player, but
Yeah. Not a good critical choice.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's a good one. When I'm saying that you can be allowed, like this can allow you to kite forever, I'm just saying that, you know, there is a thing that you can do with this. Is it good? No.
yeah, I agree. It's not good.
Hey,
Does
we
she
got the
get
mythic
vital?
critical.
No, she didn't. I was gonna say if they'd given her vital strike and then you had the staggering critical, then you could just have her like kite forever with freaking vital strike because you can still move half your range and then you can vital strike for the big damage and then they're staggered. So like
long
that
as
would
you crit.
actually that would actually be like yeah, that's true. I guess
You
that's true.
still got to roll that 19 or 20.
Yeah. Anyways, I still feel like if you're kiting, like that would have they didn't add it, but I just had that thought. Anyways,
Yeah, I got you. Improved critical mythic from mythic level 10. This is a good chunk of extra damage again if you get that crit. Longbows are ×3 already, so this boosts it up to scythe range. When it comes to crit damage.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably the best choice left, right? I mean, unless you wanted to take a
Unless you're going
mythic
into
ability
extra
or
feats
Yeah.
or abilities, yeah.
Yeah.
Easily the best one left.
All right.
Unless you want to take toughness mythic.
Well, we did get toughness, so I guess we should. Why waste it?
Yep. And then last one.
We get
Oh,
Demons
gross.
of Strength, but then we
Gross.
again put points into Demons of Magic.
So, no, that's not the gross that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that they took their dex from an even number to an odd number instead of boosting charisma up to an even number.
That would have been better, or strength even, get a little more damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's
pretty
like, oh, yeah, we
You
can
had it
use
right.
whatever ability score we want. Oh, wait, no, we can't. Psych.
You did it right. You had it correct, and then you fucked it all up.
I tried to give y'all credit, and apparently I gave y'all too much.
Like,
so I do think that the reason they're boosting Demons of Magic is because of Arueshalae. Because the final boss of the game is a Demon of Magic, they're boosting all of that. I honestly think that that's the reasoning behind it. Which is, on paper, it is a valid reason.
Maybe.
I guess.
Whether or not in practice it comes out to be that you need all of that for her,
I just have one thing to say to that, and it is the word trolls. That's all I got to say. And to me, that makes more sense, but who knows? Who knows?
But yeah. That's that. And look at that. We got 1 minute to spare.
All right, hurry up. Let's go. Hurry up. Close it out.
Yep.
Say your goodbyes.
All right. Oh. Well,
Two more down.
Everyone who's watching on any of our streams, whether you're on Laura's or Pondor's or mine, thank you guys all for coming out tonight. We try to do this every other week if we can manage it, given our schedules. I'm Unsung NPC, and I mainly play RPG games, narrative games, games like this, other types of indie games, anything that I feel like is going to be fun. I'm just, I want to play games with my friends, which is you guys, and that's kind of what I do. I also have a YouTube where I do videos for Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, and also Kingmaker. If any of those interest you, you want to learn about the different classes or how some of the mechanics work. If you're more new to the game, you can go check out those. And this is a brilliant transition into someone else who does some really good videos for Pathfinder as well. Lorespire, you're next.
Oh, I see how it is. I don't do
That's
good
me, Chris with
Pathfinder
Lorespire.
videos.
Yep, just want to say you got a ton of Pathfinder content up on the channel. You know, hundreds and hundreds of hours of streams and dozens of hours of videos. So be sure to check those out. Right now, we're streaming Rogue Trader, the Rogue Trader Alpha, which is freaking phenomenal. I am actually surprised by how few bugs there have been. Like very, very, very surprised. It's going to be light years ahead of where Wrath and Kingmaker were whenever they released at this rate. Hell, it may already be, even though it's still an alpha. But anyways, it's an amazing game. We're streaming it again tomorrow night. Come check it out, and probably all this weekend. Be sure that y'all, anybody who's here on my channel, if you've not already done so, give us a thumbs up, like the stream, you know, subscribe to the channel. Be sure that you go over to Pondor and Unsung, subscribe to their channels over on Twitch, give them follows. Okay, you can find their information down underneath this video in the description of the video if you're on YouTube, and if you are over on Twitch, you can find it in my recommended streamers portion. You can find them, so follow them on Twitch, and subscribe to them on YouTube. They're awesome. You'll love their stuff. As you heard, Pondor's a world record holder in speedrunning Kingmaker, and Unsung's a world record holder and just being fucking awesome. All right, so that's all I gotta say about that. All right, you're up, Pondor.
All right, now it's my turn. I'm very cold.
And
And done. So I primarily play basically 3 games right now. I play Kingmaker, where I do speedruns of that game. I play a lot of Phasmophobia, where I also do speedruns of that game. And I play Pokemon Red, where I do solo runs of that game. We are currently trying to go through every single Pokemon in the original 152, because we are also counting Missing No, which I've already done. And beating the game with every single one of them that it is physically possible to beat the game with. There are a couple where it's not, because they can't touch ghost types, but all the other ones we're going to try and beat it with it. I am also debating on trying to start speed running certain aspects of the newest Pokemon games, Pokemon Violet, because there is a couple of categories of that speed run that are around an hour, which is something that I can do, as opposed to the 5.5 hour speed run for the entire game.
I saw someone do a stream where he beat the game using only the Wooper.
Was that Small Ant?
Yeah.
I was about to say, that sounds like Small Ant. That sounds like something he would do. But yeah, so I do a lot of speedrunny type stuff. Whenever I finish the runs, I'll do, something else. Challenges, play through Hades every once in a while. And yeah. The newest world record, speaking of world records, my newest record, which is currently up on YouTube, just got uploaded today. If you want to go and check that out, I beat the game in 1 hour and 13 minutes, if you don't count load screens, which we don't. If you do, it was 1.5 hours.
Yep.
But still a very good time.
Um,
And something I'm very happy with.
Mucho bueno.
Also, some throw-ins here real quick. I am, after the holidays are over, starting sometime in later January, am trying to start a streamed D&D game with some chatter and streamer pals, including Lorespire, playing for me while I Dungeon Master. So that's going to be a thing. Pondor also does Phasmophobias on Fridays, and I occasionally join him on those. I won't be doing it this week, but I usually do.
Because he's a coward.
I'm sorry. I'm celebrating the holidays.
Fuck the holidays.
but-
We gotta celebrate the holidays at Phasmo. We gotta feed Santa the cookies.
So you should join in on those if spooky stuff is of interest to you at all. And people from my chat as well, or my channel, or anyone visiting either of these two guys, make sure that you follow, subscribe to either of their YouTubes, follow them on Twitch, do all the things. You can also catch them in my Discord if you're in the Discord, and they should have all of their stuff attached to their profiles in there if you want like easier access to it. So
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Oh, and in case nobody noticed, because nobody mentioned it, I am Chewbacca. Grrr.
I
I
did
can't do
notice.
the noise. Yeah. I freaking
Mainly
love this
because you
dude.
mentioned it as soon as I
Y'all-
started talking
y'all-
about how cold I was.
I
Y'all
appreciated
noticed
it.
but that was before the stream.
Yeah.
Before the stream started.
Yeah,
I
that was
appreciated it
before
right
we went
away.
live.
Like before he had his headphones
You did.
on, I was like, ah, Chewie.
He's like, "Are you Chewbacca?" It's like, "Yes, I am."
I saw the
this suit
bandolier.
is finally cold enough to wear it.
Happy holidays, Scyther,
Anyways.
Igor, everyone.
Fucking winter, fucking
Appreciate you
storm,
guys.
bullshit.
Jake, Lord
All
Bovin.
right, so I guess we're done, huh, guys? I know you got to get out of here, Unsung.
Uh,
And,
yeah.